Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bow. Welcome to the Droppies. Yeah, welcome to the Droppies. It's the Droppies. It's the Droppies. It's the Droppies. Yeah. Welcome, one and all, to the 1 year anniversary where we haven't missed any episodes in between of the Teardrop Pod. My name is Chris, and I am joined by my fellow co-host, Mr. Andrew. How are you doing today, Andrew?
I'm doing great. He did not tell me he was doing that. That was actually sick. How long have you been cooking on that? You practiced that in the car today on the way home from work, didn't you?
5 seconds before, as you were counting down, I was like, I gotta do something. This song needs a little extra pizzazz.
Like I can't just say, "What's up, folks? Welcome to the Droppies."
No, it needs
like go off on that
crap. So, I am happy I could give it one. In case you didn't catch it, you were just too overwhelmed by the emotion that music gave you. This is the Droppies. This is our end of the year episode at the beginning of the new year, where we will be taking our top 10 games from 2025, slapping them in a tier list and ranking them at the end. But before we get to that, we are doing the first annual Droppies, where we have come together. Oh, thank you for video listeners, video watchers. You have been graced with this beautiful logo that Andrew came up with.
Thank you. I made it all by myself.
Weeks ago. I mean, he's been toiling over this for days. So please make sure that you give that a look, all of our audio listeners. But yeah, we will be doing the Droppies here at the beginning, which is where we've come up with a bunch of categories that we are going to, they vary, but let us include some other art forms other than just games. I know we also talk about movies and stuff here, but talking about our favorites of multiple different types of media from the year, but also specific kind of aspects of these games or media or whatever that we really liked that we want to give some love to and talk about with each other. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk to each other about the things we love for everyone else to listen in on. Isn't that right, Andrew?
That's so right. That's so right.
This one's going to be a long one, I think. So before we dive into it, do you have any additional thoughts? Anything you're really excited about? Do you think you know how this is going to go?
No, actually, I don't. I'm low-key scared for this for the tier list that we're going to be making today.
Could be a bloodbath.
The worst part is I don't even think it's going to be a bloodbath because I think I have 3 games, maybe 4 games this year that I actually like that I played.
Oh no! Oh,
but I didn't play a full 10 games, so we're just improvising a little bit.
And yet, we once again somehow managed to come up with exactly 15 games.
Somehow,
just like we did last year. So that's a tradition now too. But
I guess it has to be year after year. 15. Lucky number.
Count on it. All right, man. Are you ready to drop some Droppies?
Let's. Absolutely.
That's what we're here to do.
You're taking this one all the way to the bank. I love it.
100%.
I love it.
We got to get the most out of this this marketing, this logo we got here. The first category for our Droppy Awards is Best Show/TV Season. Would you like for me to start, or would you like to start, Andrew?
You can go ahead with this one.
Okay.
I didn't watch like a ton of TV this year. Well, no, I guess I did, but most of it was older TV. So you're probably more up to date.
TV shows are like one of the only things that I track myself that I don't have an app for. Like I have Letterboxd for when I track all the movies I watch. I have this GG app, which I just started using another thing called Backlog to track all my games and stuff. And obviously Spotify tracks some of your music stuff. But I just keep a notes section on my phone for all the shows I've watched. So this year I watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 shows that came out in the year 2025.
Jesus.
It was a good year for TV. Now, some of that includes some reality TV. All right. So that includes like, I got both seasons of Survivor from this year on there. All right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And I mean, y'all are lucky I didn't give that 2 #1 awards. Come on, Survivor. It's a classic for a reason, baby. Come on now. Yeah, so I think this was actually a really good year for TV. There were a lot of really good shows and a lot of good seasons of shows that we've had here. Now we were talking, this is a little peek behind the curtain here. we were talking earlier, and it seems like you might have multiple winners for some of these categories here that you've got prepared at least, right? Is that true?
I've got one winner for every category, but I've got some like just a couple like quick shout outs that I would like to just give some recognition to some things that I think deserve it.
That's fair. That's fair. I will do the same thing then here. I'll do like my top 3 shows.
Okay.
And I'll make it quick for the bottom 2, so we don't turn this into a 6-hour podcast. But my third favorite show from 2025, I would probably say, is, I think I would have to give it to Invincible season 3.
Wow.
Which I have always loved Invincible, but I feel like season 3 really kind of solidified it in my mind as like, oh, this is like one of the best superhero stories I feel like that we've gotten up to this point. The animation was a big step up from season 2. Wait, no, I'm misremembering that. No, this was the season where the animation was bad because it was a faster turnaround, but it wasn't like distractingly bad. But this was way earlier in the year.
Wait, hold on. We also need to back up again. They're only on season 3?
Yeah.
I feel like this show's been on for so long.
It's because there was a huge gap between season 1 and season 2, and everyone complained. And so season 3 came out a lot faster, but then the animation wasn't as good.
Oh, okay.
I was like, all right, we got to pick your poison. And there's only a couple of instances where I feel like the animation was distracting. But the writing and like where the plot goes in this season, I just thought was really, really great. Obviously the finale, insane. I mean, if you know, you know. I don't want to spoil it. Number 2 is The Rehearsal, season 2. Do you know anything about the show?
I haven't heard of this one.
So this is by it's on. I should clarify. If you want to go watch any of these, Invincible, obviously on Amazon Prime. The Rehearsal is on HBO Max. It's by Nathan Fielder, who did Nathan For You, this kind of like comedy show for a couple of years before this. And The Rehearsal is this show where he takes these scenarios that he is nervous about how they will play out. So he creates an entire set with hired actors to play out how the scenario might go, that he can practice it beforehand. So that is The Rehearsal. He is literally rehearsing real life scenarios with these really elaborate sets and actors. There's one episode in the first season where there's this guy who's been lying to his friend group for years about having a degree, and he takes him in, he like studies him, he has someone else study him, and he like mimics how he would behave and all this stuff, and recreates the entire bar that they go to for trivia every week so that they can go in and practice multiple ways that this might play out. And season 2 just kind of takes that to a level that I did not think was possible. I don't want to spoil it, but there is definitely an underlying kind of through line. A lot of the episodes kind of feel like individual things that he's messing with. This season, he does say from the start that one thing that he's trying to figure out is basically, can he discover what is causing airplane crashes, and is there some sort of issue that's causing the airways to be less safe, basically. And so he spends a lot of this season studying pilots and how like a co-pilot and pilots interact with each other, and basically is there like a power dynamic here that's causing them to not feel comfortable enough to communicate with each other to an extent that it is actually causing things to be unsafe for everyone else. I'm trying really hard to not spoil certain things. It is, the finale is one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen in a TV show, as far as what lengths that man was willing to go to. I really wish I could spoil it, but I want you and everyone else to go watch it so badly. I don't want to.
All right, yeah.
So
I'll hop on it.
Please, it's only like 5 or 6 episodes. It's pretty short.
Oh, okay.
It's so funny because it was coming out at the same time The Last of Us season 2, and I ended up really not liking that. And we had like weekly watch parties, and by the end I was like, because the rehearsal would come on right after The Last of Us. I was like, all right, now that that's over, can we like watch the rehearsal instead? That became what I was actually excited about. There's, yeah, I'll give you a tease. There's an incredible needle drop of Evanescence Bring Me to Life that I will never forget for as long as I live in one of these episodes. That's all I'll say.
I love
if that
That's
does not interest you enough to go check it out, I don't know what will. Please go watch this show. And any other year, that would pretty easily be my number one. But this isn't any other year. This is the year that Andor season 2 came out, and Andor season 2 is just an experience that I desperately wish I could wipe my mind of so I could experience it again. I mean, it's so funny because I was so slow to watch Andor season 1, and I finally came around to it after kind of taking my time just because I'd heard enough positive buzz about it. And once I really got in, I was super invested. And it was right before season 2, so I thankfully was able to kind of bridge that gap pretty quickly. And I talked so much about it that Mare finally was like, fine, okay, I'll watch it too. So then I did a whole series rewatch with her, who also had tried it before and fallen off because the beginning of season 1 is a little slow. And she also fell in love, and watching it on a second viewing was so... It just solidified to me how incredible it is, because you have so much more love for these characters already, and you kind of can see their motivations even more clearly. And it's such a dense world that doesn't hold your hand as far as like making sure you know, okay, this is what this character is talking about. Like you have to pay attention. You have to respect the show because the show respects your intelligence enough to not kind of bog things down and really water it down. And
which is so different from like every other Star Wars thing ever.
Yeah, it's
so we actually just started it.
Are you on season?
Literally,
season 1,
I'm not joking. 2 days ago, we started the first episode. We've watched the first 2 episodes of it.
Of season 1.
Yes, of season 1. Yeah.
So
we'll be getting there soon enough, and I hope to God that it lives up to the hype, because everybody and their mom has come to me with this show. Please watch this show; it's so good.
It is. The first 2 episodes specifically are a little slow, but I'm telling you, when I went back and rewatched them again, I loved them just as much as any of the other episodes, because like you already care so much about these characters, and what they're talking about makes so much more sense. Like there's so much you have to just figure out, I feel like, about like glean from what the world is kind of going through in that moment. But once you have the full picture, dude, it is it's just beautiful. And I think the second season specifically is one that had a unique challenge, both living up to the hype of the first season and also tying everything together, and also tying everything together right before Rogue One in a prequel series where you know what is going to happen. Like it should not have been able to succeed, but there are this whole second half. I mean, I think the first half of the season is good. I think the first episode or 2 are the weakest, which is ironic because it's the same thing with the first season, but I still don't think they're bad. But especially from like episodes 6 through 12 of this last season are, I mean, incredible. I think this is some of the best TV I've ever seen.
Absolute cinema.
Couldn't have said it better. It's just so overwhelming. I have not had something evoke such emotion in me in such a long time as some of the episodes at the end of the season. Yeah. I mean, it's just so well done on its own, but in a really sad but impactful and profound way is that the parallels to the real world and how well the show, I think, speaks to a lot of the struggles that are going on. It's so crazy to me to see something that is based off of a 70s sci-fi movie that is such a modern commentary. And not even like a commentary like it. I don't think that it is, trying to pit people against each other or anything like that, but just saying like these are things that happen in the real world too, in a way that I didn't expect for it to resonate with me. But I love that show. It's like that and Better Call
really
Saul
hyped.
are so close in my mind for like my favorite shows of all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Real, it's up there for you.
Yeah. This isn't like just the best of the
Okay.
year. This is a best of all time. Especially if you were to put them together. But season 1 also has some incredible moments. I think season 2 is the one that struck me more personally and emotionally. Kind of like a Last of Us 1, Last of Us 2 scenario.
Yeah.
So this is a best of all time for me, for sure.
Wow. Yeah, I'm really pumped to get to like really get into it. Yeah, those first couple episodes, they were a little slow. I'm still in on it. Like I'm still not like, I'm not actively having like a bad time or anything, but I'm trying to pick up on little things and really try to figure out like what the bigger picture is at the moment. But we're also a little like hesitant to start it because I'm kind of on my Star Wars hater arc at the moment. I have been for like a couple years. So I wasn't like super pumped to hop back into like a Star Wars world, but Apple TV would not boot up on our smart TV, so I just said, okay, we're just watching Andor instead because we were gonna watch Pluribus.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry, I love Invincible. Strike Invincible. Pluribus is my number 3.
Was really surprised that you didn't have Pluribus on there.
I'm telling you, I need an app for this. I totally forget. Like, you want to know the truth? Pluribus. So I put these all chronologically. Pluribus is in between It, Welcome to Derry, and Stranger Things season 5, both of which are shows that I think are whatever. So I think I was just kind of like glazing over it a little bit. Sorry, yeah, I'll let you talk about it. But retcon, Invincible season 3 also great, but it's Pluribus, Rehearsal season 2, Andor season 2.
Okay, that sounds better. Not that I've watched any of this stuff, so I don't know like what actually sounds better. But that sounds more right. Like I felt like you really liked Pluribus.
Yeah, it's great. It's another show that is very slow, but is so intentional in what it's doing. Sorry, I cut you off though. I just that like
no, you're good. That was all that I had.
Scare. I was like, oh god, I forgot about Pluribus. I feel like it's gonna happen multiple times with this list, but
you're good. No, that was all that I had on that. I'm just excited.
So you're saying
you
haven't had a chance to watch because Apple TV wasn't.
Yeah, we don't have anything hooked up to our smart TV that like actually plays stuff, so we just use the smart TV like UI and like loaders to get onto streaming services, and it's like the worst thing of all time. It's like $150 TV. Like, it's not crazy or anything. So yeah, we let it sit on Apple TV Plus for a minute or 2 or 3, and then it just didn't do anything. Like the dude with the stick, like do something. Like it just wasn't working, and so we just went to Disney Plus, and I said, okay, we're watching Andor. I guess I said okay, and then we started watching. It's pretty good.
I think episode 3 is where it really picks up.
Okay, all right. So we're like right there.
Yeah,
then.
and like what's so crazy too about these shows, season 1 definitely kind of has its 3 episode arcs. I think kind of thematically a little bit. The end's a little less clear cut, I guess, but the second half, I should say. But season 2, this isn't a spoiler because you'll find it out as soon as you start watching. It is literally every 3 episodes, time passes. A year takes place in between each episode, each series of 3 episodes. And so for them to take that unique of a way of telling that story too, there's just so much about it that is so should not work, but they find a way to make it work. It's so good.
I'm pumped.
Please
I'm super sold on it.
I'm gonna be so annoying about. So where are you at, Andor?
Did you watch it yet? Have you gotten to this part?
Exactly. Yeah. What are your favorite shows? What's your droppy here?
I did not watch a ton of TV from this year. We talked about it on an earlier pod. We watched Severance. Season 1 is like one of the best seasons of television I maybe have ever watched in my entire life. What else we watch? I don't know if I told you this. We watched Arcane.
Oh, you. Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
Sorry, I'm just dropping that one on you real
This
quick.
man is on his arc right now.
Yeah, we watched Arcane. Oh, it was peak. It was so good. The animation on that show, beautiful. That whole second season, the scene, specifically the scene, I think it's in the penultimate episode when the 21 Pilots song starts playing. Yep. That scene is like ingrained in my head. That's my favorite scene from the entire show. It's just so good.
The one that I think about all the time is the scene where Jinx gives her frenemy the new weapon to use, and they have that fight in the street.
Yes,
that is visually one of the. I think about that scene all the time.
Yeah, like so many cool like artistic, stylistic like choices with that show. I was really, really big on that one. But those aren't from this year. I really only watched. Oh yeah, and we rewatched The Good Place again.
Top tier.
It's just so good. If I could put it as number one every year, I would just do that because it's just genuinely one of my favorite shows that I've ever watched.
I love it.
But no, I only really watched 2 new things this year. I'm pretty sure we watched Stranger Things season 5. I don't think it's as bad as everybody's saying. I think the streets are kind of overreacting on that one just a bit.
Yeah.
I do think it's probably the worst season of the show.
Yeah, I think so.
Or at least like pretty close. I don't know. If it's not the worst.
Last season was so split for me because I loved all the stuff with the kids in Hawkins. I thought because there's basically 3 stories happening in season 4, right? There's like the Hawkins kid story. There's Mike, Will, and Elle story that I thought was okay. And then there's the Russian stuff that I actually hate, and I think it's some of the worst content they've ever done.
Really?
Yeah, any of the stuff with Hopper and Russia, I was like, this is so stupid, dude.
I don't know.
So it's kind of a mixed bag.
It's one of those like so bad and so unbelievable that it's good to me.
Well, and I kind of feel that way.
This would never happen.
I kind of feel that way about the whole show at this point, where I was like, this is one of the only shows where I can acknowledge that I don't think it's good, but I still like it. Like so often I'm so critical and annoying about like picking stuff apart and like being hung up on stuff. But for whatever reason with Stranger Things, I'm like, if I look at this with even half of a critical eye open, it's like there's a lot of problems here, but I still enjoy it. We still watched the last episode on Christmas or on New Year's Eve. We watched them as soon as they came out. Like,
oh really?
It's weird. It's weird. I don't think it's great.
I mean, it's just such a phenomenon. I felt like we needed to watch them as they came out just so that we didn't get like spoiled on anything, which we did get spoiled on stuff from the first volume, which was really kind of annoying. Because there was a really big moment in the first batch of episodes that came out that got spoiled for both me and Kayla. But yeah, it was fine. It's definitely not the best 2025 season of television that I watched this year. What actually is Dexter Resurrection. I don't know if people know this. I'm a massive Dexter guy. Love Dexter. I've probably watched Dexter, like the series as a whole, 6 or 7 times. Like I go back to that show a lot over the years. I think that it has 5 good seasons in that original 8 season. I think the first 4 seasons are phenomenal seasons of television. I think 5 and 6 are like honestly kind of bad. I think season 7 is pretty good, and then I think season 8 is like one of the worst seasons of TV I maybe have ever watched. Then they did like a reboot series called New Blood, I think, maybe 5 years ago or 3 or 4 years ago, I don't remember. And it was pretty good. It was kind of up there with those seasons. Now we have another one that's written by the same people that wrote seasons 1 through 4. I think once we hit season 4 on original Dexter, I'm pretty sure they got new writers from then on. So the OG writers are back, and this feels like one of those seasons. It is so good, dude. We were me and Caleb both so locked in. We sat there, we grinded through that whole show. We don't binge shows ever, dude. Except for Severance was the other one that we like binged through this year.
So just to clarify, but you only watched Severance season 1?
No, we watched season 1 and 2.
Okay, so 2 came out this year.
But season 1, did season 2 come out
this
year?
At the beginning of this year. Yeah.
Oh no. Sorry, Dexter.
I was gonna say, so where does that? Does that dethrone Dexter?
Wait, so Severance isn't in your top 3?
It would be my number 4. Honestly,
Really?
now that I don't know. I was kind of on the fence because I did really like Invincible. I would say my top, because Alien Earth was in my top 5. I think that would be either 4 or 5, and then my 5th spot would either go to Severance season 2 or Invincible season 3. I felt like there were a couple of moments in Severance towards the end, season 2, where I was like, okay, it's getting a little bogged down here. I feel like they're kind of stringing me along to a point where I'm getting a little annoyed that I'm not getting any answers, I feel like, to what's going on. But it pays off a ton at the end. And like, it's obviously still incredibly well done. So I do still love it. It would be very close to my top 5. It's not my top 5.
Yeah. I think like in my head, like Dexter is still in that top spot just because I like season 1 of Severance so much more than season 2. Not that I dislike season 2 of Severance, by the way. I think that's still an incredible season of TV. But I'm just such a Dexter freak that it just really hit something for me that it hadn't hit in so long, and it just made me so excited that like we're back again and they're doing more seasons of it, and it's not just like a little one-off thing. Like Dexter is actually back, which is really, really cool to me. A lot of cool cameos also in this season, like a bunch of actors that either just should not be there or they were just surprising to even be on the show in general, especially the villain. The antagonist of the season was very shocking to me, not knowing like any casting or anything going in. So yeah, everybody give it a watch. I'm pretty sure it's on Paramount. Yes, it's on Paramount.
All we gotta do is catch up on what you said, 8 seasons of the show beforehand.
Oh god, have you not watched Dexter?
I've never seen a single episode of Dexter.
You would hate it. I'm gonna be so real with you. You would not like it at all. Those first few seasons, I don't think that they've aged very well.
But you said you loved them, Andrew.
I do. I love them so much. But they look old, dude. They look so old. They're from like 2005 or like 2006.
I remember us being in high school when the finale came out, because someone, I remember, came up to my table at lunch and was like, dude, the Dexter finale sucked. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I'm so sorry for your loss.
One specific person that we went to high school with, I think it was in my senior physics class. He was a big Dexter guy, and it was like towards the end of the year, so like we all just had our iPods out, and I had some episodes downloaded on my iPod that I had to sync over from iTunes.
Yep.
And he saw that I was in the first season, and he just looks over at me and he just gives me like the biggest spoiler of the show, and then he just turns back around in his seat.
It's evil, dude.
And I've never forgotten about it.
No, and you shouldn't.
It's
Don't
so
forget
mad.
or forgive. That's wicked, dude.
Yeah, no, it was not okay. I don't think you thought that I was gonna stick with it.
Well, but you proved him wrong. I bet he's not sticking with it as much as you are at this point.
Yeah, probably.
So the Droppies for best show / TV season, my Droppy goes to Andor season 2, and your Droppy goes to Dexter Resurrection. Beautiful. Next up is best movie of 2025. We can just swap off here. You want to lead with this one?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm just gonna shout out some a couple movies that I've seen this year. Tron Ares, bud.
You know,
it sucks. It's not good. Everybody go see it. Okay, that's all that I got.
Andrew,
28 years later.
That comes to Disney Plus in one day as of this recording. It'll be out by the time people hear this on Disney Plus.
Dude, I will watch. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
I'm gonna watch it
tomorrow as soon as I get home.
She's like, "Well, we still have to watch the other ones." I was like, "Okay, I've seen Legacy. All right, I can go ahead."
Have you watched like the 80s Tron?
I still have never seen the original. No,
brother.
I'm a fake fan.
Okay, it's okay. It's fine. You don't have to.
No, I'm going to now. Mayor's asked for it. She doesn't know what she was asking for, but we're doing it.
I also saw 28 Years Later. That one was not what I expected it to be. We talked about this maybe on one of the past couple episodes. I really like 28 Days Later, and this was not like the normal zombie movie that I thought it was going to be, which was a very pleasant surprise. It's a lot more like story focused, and it's a lot more like emotional and kind of tugs on your heartstrings a little more than I expected whenever I first went into it. Very good. The sequel is coming out within the next couple weeks, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the Bone Temple. So I was like, how are they already doing another one? It hasn't even been a year since years. So
I
weird.
know.
But I don't think it's not directed by Danny Boyle though, is it? I think it's a different team, I want to say. I'm not sure on that, but
I couldn't tell you.
I will say that is definitely my biggest.
Oh no, it is Danny Boyle.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. What do I know? Yeah. That is like my biggest regret. Like we literally watched 28 Days Later to get ready to go see this movie, and then we never got around to seeing it. So that is one of the only big movies this year that I didn't get around to. That I know it's on Netflix now, so I'm gonna watch it, but didn't get to it in time for this.
Well, don't forget, dude, you also got to watch 28 Weeks Later.
See, I've heard that one's kind of buns though.
Yeah, no, that is so. It's like one of the stinkiest movies ever. It's so bad.
I watched it on her phone, and I was just like look over and be like, "Oh, this is the same people who made 28 Days." That's crazy, but it's not.
It's like the
that
most
one I know
typical...
is a different team for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're probably right. It's like the most like typical like 2007 2008 action movie ever.
Because that's why everyone was so excited for 28 Years this year, because it was like, oh, it's the same like Danny Boyle and I forget the other guy, but they were coming back for this one, like they did the first one, but they didn't for the second. So.
And then it looks like Bone Temple is a different director.
Okay.
But still pumped for it.
So you had
what you got?
28 Years Later.
That's not my movie.
I was gonna say you had 28 Years Later and Tron. But you're saving your number one.
I mean, I can keep going if you want me. I got like 2 more before my number one.
I'll take your volley here.
Yeah.
So I watched 29 movies from this year. I'm a media sicko, Andrew. Okay, I watch,
good God,
and I play, and I don't do anything else. Okay, wait till you hear how many games I played this year. Also, to be fair, I added like 5 or 6 movies to this list in the last week because this happens every year where we get to the end of the year and there are fewer things out in theater than usual, and and all my favorite movie influencers are like, all right, these are my favorite movies of the year. And I'm like, all right, I guess I should go and finally watch these because I have a little bit more downtime. I just want to say honorable mention to Captain America Brave New World for being very last, number 29 of 29. I hate that movie. Just one last reminder. I just really need to make sure that you all remember how sucky that piece of crap movie is. That's so bad. But
sorry, that really got me. Holy shit, yeah, that really got me.
You weren't expecting that. You weren't expecting that.
I was not.
This one's only number 10 on my list, but I saw it recently, so I do want to shout out Zootopia 2. Way better than I expected it to be. That movie was really good. It was like really funny, gorgeous animation. You know, Disney as a company, not loving all the decisions they've been making lately, but that movie, I was very surprised at how much I liked it. Top 4 here.
It's a juggernaut right now too, dude.
Yeah, it passed Frozen 2 to be like the highest grossing animated movie of all time or something like that. Or
yeah, probably.
It's like their highest grossing. It beat Frozen 2 for some record of theirs. But I'll do my top 4 here. I'll stop at number 1 and come back like what you're doing. Number 4, Begonia, the Yorgos Lanthimos movie by starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. Yorgos Lanthimos, I historically have been very hit or miss with. I like The Lobster. It's super weird, but I like that movie for what it is. I hated Poor Things, which I know everyone else loves.
Really?
I really that was my least favorite movie of that year. I really did not like that movie. Some of the stuff in it just did not sit well with me. I felt like it was trying to be profound, but wasn't really saying anything very interesting or new, in my opinion.
I've only ever heard good things. I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
but I know
most people loved it.
Really
I think Emma Stone won, and I love Emma Stone. You know how I feel about La La Land. And I think that movie she won an Oscar or something for that movie. But I actually think Begonia has it is one of the weirdest, but also most impressive movies I saw this year, and that like it stuck with me. Like when I first put it on my list of Letterboxd movies, it was actually lower, and I bumped it up because of all the movies I watched this year, that's easily the one I've thought the most about since I watched it. It was just really, really, really incredible to think back on some of those performances and the layers that were attached to them once you kind of have the whole picture.
Yeah.
And so that one was great. The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson is my number 3.
Really?
I
heard it was very funny.
I'm scared to watch it again because that's kind of how I always am with comedies, where it's like, will it hold up? But I can tell you that in the theater, in the moment, that was, I think I walked out of that saying like, this may be my new favorite comedy of all time. Like it was,
wow.
for like pound for pound, joke for joke, I laughed so hard and so often at this movie. I could just go through it and like explain each gag, but like that wouldn't do it justice. Like, please go watch that movie. It's on, I want to say Begonia's on Peacock now. I saw all of these in my top 4 in theaters. I think Naked Gun is on Prime and or Paramount. My number 2 is still in theaters, so you're gonna have to go out and go see it. Get off your butts, folks. Go to the theater. Save cinema, please. And go see.
I think I know what you're about to say.
My homeboy Marty Supreme, because that movie is insane.
That is my number 1.
Dude, we should have gone together. I didn't know that you were a Marty boy.
I loved that movie, man.
It was, I mean, it's the best performances. That's so hard to say. There are so many great performances this year, but Timothée Chalamet as Marty,
amazing.
It's incredible, dude. He was so charismatic, so cocky, but in a way that like you still wanted to root for him, even though he was kind of a little asshole. And like,
dude, he's a dick like the entire movie. And you're like, I want this dude to play some ping pong right now. And I went into this movie knowing absolutely nothing about it. I didn't even know it. I knew that Timothée Chalamet was in it, and I was kind of roped in because I'm a really big Shark Tank guy. When somebody told me that Kevin O'Leary was in it, and I was like, okay, I gotta see what this is all about.
Oh my God.
And boy, can Kevin O'Leary act.
Yeah.
Boy, he's kind of just himself.
He's a real life asshole, but like also, yeah, he was great in this because of that. Dude, Tyler, the Creator, hilarious.
Amazing.
Dude, so funny. I mean, there's not a bad performance in this movie.
No,
and it's
I don't think so.
So
either.
funny. They're so well done. And like, what a crazy ending, dude. Like, that is not how I thought it was going to end. But me like, neither. It felt like a satisfying payoff.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I also got jump scared by Penn from Penn and Teller. Was
Dude,
not expecting like Bohick like, Penn.
I remember in the credits where it said his name. I was like, what is he doing here? Because I hadn't heard that he was in it, and then totally unrecognizable. If they hadn't put his name in the opening credits, I would not have even recognized him. I don't think. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm like in love with this movie. I'm still thinking about it. Like we just saw it like last week. And I'm still thinking about it. I know it's not a recency bias thing because I really don't think that any other movie that I saw this year like wowed me as much as that movie did.
Yeah.
Like it really, really did something for me.
Yeah. It's just pure, I mean, it's funny. It's got heart to it. It's got incredible performances. It's just, and the ping pong stuff is really cool and really entertaining to watch. It's just like no frills. This is just good. A good movie. A great movie.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
And the only thing, so that's your droppy, is Marty Supreme.
Yeah, that is my droppy. The only other ones that I have on my list: Superman, Thunderbolts, of course, some good superhero movies. Those are my top 2 superhero movies of the year for sure.
Forgot you were a Fantastic Four hater, weren't you? Because you weren't here for the.
No, I'm not a hater. I don't think that it's bad. I don't like the end or the post credit scene. I don't think the post credit scene was. They need to quit blue balling me, man. I'm tired of it. I'm so over it. Just show me them.
Dude, all these trailers they've been dropping, that's not going to happen.
They're making me mad with the trailers, dude. The movie's a year away. All right? Let me live in the movie.
If they're putting this stuff out now, dude. Anyway.
I can't even imagine what the Super Bowl commercial is about to be. But no, my number 2 this year was Weapons. Really, really liked Weapons.
Weapons is my
Very good.
number 8. Yeah, I really like
Number
it.
8, yeah. Because I'm normally not like a big horror movie guy, but I really like stuff that's more on like the creepy, uncomfortable, like thriller side of horror movies, which kind of was this movie up until like the final act. That's when it really, I feel like, became like a true like horror movie.
Yeah,
but a lot of like the mystery and like the, you know, all that kind of stuff, that's kind of more the stuff that I'm into, and that movie really stuck with me, and especially in like the way that it's told.
Yeah, I've thought about bumping that one up on my list as well, because I have thought about it a good bit since I saw it, and I do think it's great. It's also really funny. I was shocked how funny that movie was. It's like really a horror comedy, yeah. Really. It's not until the end where it loses some of that humor intentionally, but yeah, that was great. My number 1, the winner of the Chris Droppy for best movie of 2025 is Sinners. Sinners was, I think, the movie that stuck with me the most. Did you see that movie too?
Yeah, I did see it. But it'd probably be under Weapons for me.
Wow. I
liked it. It was good.
I thought the music in that movie was incredible. That scene of them in the bar, like where they're all like the scene, you know, like the one that is very cinematic. When I got my new sound system in here, that was the first thing I tried out, and it was crazy just watching it like pan across the room and like hearing it in different, you know, satellite speakers, and it was just so engrossing. I think Michael B. Jordan is so incredible in this. Like, I genuinely forget that he is playing 2 different characters sometimes. Like, I treat them as 2 separate characters as I'm watching it. It's so engrossing. So funny. Like, so like I don't even remember his name, but like the guy who they pick up at the beginning, who kind of like is watching over him. I wish I could remember his name, but
I think I remember who you're talking. I could not tell you a single character name in that movie, but I know who you're talking about.
Just the performance is also really great. I know I'm sounding, the performances in all these movies are great, but like that's like their top 4, right? You know, but the setting in this, again, it's like a horror thriller, but not really meant to be scary. It's like a blending of genres that I think was really cool. And one that was just the plot itself. I think that's the one thing that makes it my number 1 above all these other ones, is that like the actual plot of like these characters and what they're trying to do, and the overarching thing, I think, is the strongest of all of these movies that also have great performances, great different things. But this, I think, is the most well-rounded for me overall as a cinematic experience. And again, all the performances are great, but Michael B. Jordan literally acting with himself for an entire movie as like 2 main characters is just tough, on another level, man. Yeah. So
no, that movie is really, really good. I think the only thing that brought that movie down for me was how much everybody had hyped it up.
Yeah.
I think I went into it expecting too much and didn't get as much as I thought I was gonna get. Not to say that I didn't like it. I thought it was very, very good. I think all of the music was good. The music especially was really, really good. But yeah, I thought it was good. I didn't quite love it as much as everybody else, though, for sure.
Yeah. Alrighty, on to album of the year. Man, this is
go off, bro. Go off.
Okay.
I'm really curious to hear what you have on this.
This is the one I'm most insecure about. Okay, guys, don't be mean in the comments about this one. Okay, guys. Look, if I'm being true to my heart, all right, if we're including, I would include soundtracks in this category, right? Because I listened
that's
to
valid.
a lot of the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack.
Oh my god. I still haven't seen it. It's
good. It's my number 15, which makes it sound worse, but like that's right at the halfway point. Like if we're
But when you've seen 80 movies this year, you know, it makes it pretty all right.
No, the music so good, so catchy. Clear Obscure soundtrack. It ruined my Spotify Wrapped. I didn't post it because I was like, I can't let the public see this. This is just embarrassing. Phenomenal soundtracks. I'm just gonna do top 3. I have like a top 5 roughly. I guess I'll just say, because I'm not going to have as much to say about it. It's so funny because like I studied music in college, like I still perform as like a singer. Like it's not like I'm a dummy, but like I don't I don't really talk about music in the same way that I talk about other forms of media. I guess because to me, maybe it is because of like the technical side of it. I'm so intimidated. Like I've always been afraid I was gonna say the wrong thing, and it feels like everyone's taste in music is so specific in a way, and mine has always felt weird anyway. Like I've always been a soundtrack sicko. And so like I just don't, and I listen to the same thing over and over again. I'll say my number 5 roughly is the album The Human Fear by Franz Ferdinand.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
I actually listened to that one pretty recently. Just like a really cool British kind of punk rock sound.
Yeah, I like some Franz Ferdinand. I haven't listened to any of their new stuff, but I dig them.
It's I don't know how to describe it other than very British. Like it sounds like a very European.
Oh, dude, they're so British.
Kind of.
They're so British.
Yeah. My number 4, a normie pick, the Somber album. I Barely Know Her. I just think it's got a lot of really. I'm just watching your face every time I say one of these because I want to see your reaction. Because literally,
no, dude,
before we started, you're like, yeah, no one's ever gonna have heard any of the ones that I'm gonna say. And I was like, bro, everyone's gonna heard of everything I have to say.
Did you go see Somber? Somber came close to us recently.
I didn't know that. No, I missed that.
Yeah.
Did you?
My no, I didn't go, but my this is gonna sound like a dig at you. I promise it's not. My 14-year-old niece went to.
Yeah. Okay. And you know what's fun? As I was listening to this music, I was like, if this was, sorry, I have my Spotify pulled up. I feel like if I had been younger when this album came out, it would have hit even harder. Like I feel like,
oh yeah,
it's all about young love, which like obviously is not something I'm necessarily relating
no, we're
to.
Still young,
but
man.
like, yeah, we're still young. But
at
like,
heart,
I still think the songs are really catchy, and I what I like about it is that it kind of puts me back into that mindset where it's like I could see myself driving to high school or like in college listening to these and like really.
It gives you that like nostalgia kind of feeling of like this is something that I could. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My number 3 is Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party.
That is a fire album
by Hayley Williams. It's crazy.
That's Kayla's number 1. That's Kayla's droppy this year.
Wow. Honorary droppy by Kayla. Yeah. Bring her in. Let's let her talk about it. No, it's so funny because I actually kind of brushed this album off initially because I didn't love the last Paramore album. And I went and gave it another.
Oh.
Like there are certain songs from the last Paramore album, like This Is Why, but like it was just a mixed bag for me. I didn't love it as a whole.
Okay.
But so I kind of pushed this one off, but as I was like trying to figure out my favorite albums of the year, I was like, let me give this one another try. And the song True Believer,
that's a banger.
Parachute, Ice in My OJ. It's just like it's a long album. It's like over an hour.
It's like 19 songs, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of songs.
And so like because of that, not all of them hit for me, but like the lows aren't that low and the highs are still really high, I think. And so that album's great. My number 2 is the one that you literally were like, oh, I bet you're gonna have man's best friend on here. And I was like, yeah, I am. And it's my number 2. Okay, you want me to apologize for it? Because I won't.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I won't.
There's nothing
because
wrong
I love
with
Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina, I know you're listening. Please, I love you. But look, dude, I don't think this album is as good as Short and Sweet, but it is. I can't. I don't know what to tell you, man. This woman's a siren for me specifically. I think she's so. And I will say some of the lyrics on this album specifically are like I don't think her strongest, but they're not like they're still almost all so catchy or so like well done. It's just like this is what I was kind of talking about earlier with like music being so specific to individuals. Obviously, she's one of the most famous singers on the planet right now. She has an appeal. Absolutely. I'm not the only one she appeals to, right? Like, but as far as like trying to figure out why I like her, it's just like there's something about her, the way that she kind of blends certain genres. I feel like Go-Go Juice is like borderline country, which is like not a genre I would ever listen to. She has a lot
of country like just influence like in her stuff.
Yeah,
like you can even see that on a lot of like short and sweet stuff.
And then you have like her last song on the album, what's it called? I always forget. Goodbye. That's like just straight out of like, sounds like ABBA could have written it. You know, like yeah. She just has these really big shifts in her genre in a way that she can navigate better than I feel like most other artists that I listen to. I just love the sound of her voice. Sometimes her vibrato, when you hear her live, I feel like is gets a little crazy, but it doesn't really come through in a lot of her studio stuff, I think. She's funny. I don't know. There's just something about Sabrina that like her last couple of albums.
She's just so dreamy.
She's just the best. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
No, I respect it. I was that same dude. You with Sabrina right now was me with Ariana Grande like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Dude, Thank You Next, that whole album, and Sweetener, that whole album. I'm not joking. It's all that I listened to for like a year. I put it on at work. I put it on in the car. I put it on whenever I was running. Like,
she's catchy too.
I became the Ariana Grande manager at work.
What a title! It was your crazy. Own special name title, your name tag.
Yeah. Ariana Grande, parentheses, Andrew.
Do you want to speak to the regular manager, or do you want to speak to the Ariana Grande manager?
That's good.
So then I have my number one. Do you want to do what we did last time and bounce off now and you do something?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. So I've got a good few here. I think I've got 5 little mentions and then an album of the year. First one, a lot of people probably did listen to this one this year. Lady Gaga, Mayhem. I think that it's the best Gaga album in well over 10 years.
Wow.
At least since Art Pop. I didn't like her last 2 albums. It was like Chromatica and Joanne.
Yeah.
I wasn't super big on those. I did like the jazz album that she did with Tony Bennett though. I thought that was a really, really good album. But yeah, this is so like return to form for her. A lot of the songs on there actually made it to my big playlist. And it's probably one of my most played albums of this year. It's very, very good. Zombie Boy specifically on there is just, it's so like danceable and catchy and it's just a fun album. And dude, Abracadabra, like the splash that song made this year.
That one's really good. That's what I've heard the most, obviously. I think it's the most popular.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of the only albums I'm actually going to be able to comment on that you probably talk about. So I just wanted to say, this album, I was doing a lot of top albums of 2025 Google searches as I was trying to fill mine out, and I thought about putting this one on there. I was trying to diversify my list a little bit, so I didn't. But I didn't realize that "Die with a Smile" was on this album, because that song didn't come out in 2025, did it? That's an older song, isn't it?
It might have came out in 2024. It might have been like, this is the single.
I was gonna say
or whatever,
like
but it's so if it is on there, dude, it so doesn't belong on there.
I was gonna say it's the last one on this, so I feel like it.
Oh yeah, they definitely just like slapped it on there. They made the album and then they slapped it on there to sell some more vinyls.
I do love that song, but I don't think it's that one was a weird standout to me. But Abracadabra,
yeah,
that's a bop.
Banger. Let's see here. Next one, Black Country New Road. With Forever How Long. These are like a British rock band. I think they're like a 6 or a 7 piece. I don't know. They have so many different like just wonderful, smart musicians in this band who just every time they come out with something, it just wows me. They came out with their first couple albums in I think 2021, 2022. And those are like 2 of my favorite albums ever. Their second album is like a 10 out of 10 for me, which I don't just be throwing those around. Those are like, you got to do something really, really special for me to say your album's a 10. But that one's really good. Right after that album, as that album came out, they lost their lead singer. He just quit the band. He didn't want to be in it anymore. So the past,
that sounds so dire. I was like, oh my god. What happened to him?
No, he just left. He wasn't feeling it no more. So they never even got to play any of the stuff from their second album live, which
Oh man.
really like bums me out. But they found a way to kind of bounce back. They're kind of doing like a little bit of a Beatles thing where they have like four leads that, you know, they've got four people who sometimes will take the lead on vocals. And they were kind of trying to figure it out with a live album first, and then this is like their first like full-fledged studio album without Isaac. Isaac was the OG singer. And it's very, very good. It's very good. If there's one song from this entire list of albums that I'm about to give anyone today, please go on there, listen to Nancy Tries to Take the Night. It's got the craziest switch up I've ever heard in my entire life that literally made me scream alone in my car.
Nancy
It is
Tries.
amazing.
Okay, Spotify, so I remember to look up later.
Yeah, definitely put that one in there. It's a little bit of a long one. It starts off a little on the slower side. It's very pretty. A lot of this album is really pretty stuff. Then we'll go to, you've probably heard of this band, Bon Iver.
I actually listened to that album.
Yeah. Sable Fable.
I thought about putting it on
this
the
year.
list. It was I liked it. It sounded, yeah, I'll let you go ahead. Yeah.
Oh no, you're good. Sorry. She was just looking at something over there. The dog was looking at the door. I was like, is something happening?
No, she heard Bon Iver and she's like, I love that.
Huh?
I love that.
Justin Vernon? I love that guy. It's Bon Iver is probably in my top 10 or 15 artists all time. They also have a 10 out of 10 album for me. I say I don't give out a lot of 10 out of 10s, but we got two artists in a row. I think their third album, 22 A Million, is genuinely like just a beautiful album front to back. This album, their newest album, kind of goes back to their roots a little bit. Like everybody knows like Skinny Love, and like, you know, that's from their very first album. The first two albums are a little more on like the acoustic, like folky kind of side, and then third and fourth album they go a little more electronic. On this newest album, they kind of like hit a little bit of both. They hit kind of a sweet spot where some songs are more on that folky side, and then they kind of bring in some other elements that are more reminiscent of their third and fourth album. But yeah, I think it's very, very good front to back. I think it's amazing.
I enjoyed it. That's two that you've listed, but I know that's crazy.
I'm
surprised.
I'd be really surprised if you knew this next one. What you know about some Viagra boys?
Oh man, don't worry, I don't know nothing about them.
Viagra boys with their album Viagra Boys. It's just a space in between the R and the A.
Okay, I'm glad you specified that. Discord
just in case people were trying to spell it out, you know. I fell in love with this band 2022. They came out with Cave World, and this is their follow-up to that, and they're like a Swedish like post-punk band. The closest thing that I could equate them to is if like your sloppy drunk uncle who does a lot of drugs made a rock band in the garage and actually put out some heat.
That is a very specific case scenario. Yeah. I don't think many can relate.
A lot of like the whole thing with Viagra Boys is like they have a very like post-punky sound in like the instrumentals, and then the lyrics is just like, what is bro talking about? He's out here talking about eating cigarettes for breakfast and subscribing to your mom's OnlyFans and like all this like crazy like,
beautiful.
He's always like spitting some weird stuff. But yeah, it's a very interesting album, but it's got some bangers. And then the last one before my album of the year, The Bets, Straight Line Was a Lie. I think they're from New Zealand. They're like a little indie band. And they're just like a fun time band. Like they're good like car music. You just turn it on. It's so like lighthearted and happy and like just makes you want to kind of bop your head back and forth. It's really, really, really fun. I really like them a lot.
Nice.
But yeah, that's all them. What you got? What you got?
The Droppy for Best Album of the Year by Chris is the one and only Lux by Rosalia.
Okay.
Have you
right.
listened to this album? Do you know this album?
I have not listened to this yet.
I
haven't yet.
So I found this album because I follow Metacritic on Blue Sky, and they just will put like whatever, release comes out, and it'll say, this is scored on Metacritic. They do it for games, they do it for movies, and they do it for albums, which I did not know until a couple of months ago. And this album dropped, and it had 100 on Metacritic. I was like, I've never even heard of this. What are they talking about?
What?
And I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. And it's like 90% in Spanish. Not something that that's not something I was also aware was going to happen. But dude, this album is unlike anything I have ever heard. I mean,
really?
The instrumentation in these pieces, as someone who like I said, it's going to sound like some snobby way to say this. I don't know how else to say it. I studied music, right? So like I really love orchestral themes. I love classical music and stuff like that. And to hear something that's so modern, but using, a full orchestra for their string section or for percussion in ways that I have never heard in pop music before. And her voice, dude, she has more dynamic contrast, I feel like, than any other singer and a pop singer I've ever heard. Like her crescendos, like from when she wants to really quiet down and then grow again, are like just so technical and so refreshing. And like I feel like basically the majority of what you hear pop singers like, all right, we're just gonna sing mezzo piano, mezzo forte, like just middle of the road. There's not a lot of dynamic contrast, and with her, like that's a huge part of what she's doing here. It was just so unlike anything else I'd ever heard in this genre before. And again, there's a lot of variety within the songs themselves, as far as like, whether it's a more intense or a more somber kind of piece. And I love it. I think it is easily the most impressive album that I listened to by a mile this year. I've
heard very, very good things about that album.
Yeah.
It's been at the top of a lot of people's lists this year, and there was a lot of buzz around it whenever it first came out. I've listened to some of her like earlier stuff. I've always really like respected her like from afar. I've never really like gotten super deep, but I know that I like her for sure. And it's on my short list of things that I need to go back and visit from this past year for sure. So I'm glad to hear that you like it as much as you did. That's not the one that I was expecting you to pull out there.
There's three tracks in the middle that are like three of my favorites in the whole album. It's like Mio Cristo Piange Diamanti, followed by Bergain, followed by La Perla. And if you're gonna only listen to like one section of it, I would say listen to those three. And I feel like you can hear the contrast just in those three songs of how much she's capable of.
All right.
So that is my
yeah. I think you sold me on that one a little bit. I might listen to that one tomorrow morning.
Please do. Let me know what you think.
Opening up the store. Absolutely.
What is real quick before you say yours? You said that's not what you were expecting. Did you have an album you thought I was gonna say is my number one, or you just were like,
I thought it was gonna be Sabrina.
Yeah.
Once you pulled it out at number 2, I was like, I don't know what this dude is cooking right now. He's about to pull out like some Andrea Bocelli or like some little
honorable mention to Seth MacFarlane's album where he put out a bunch of non-published Frank Sinatra songs. Actually dope as hell.
Is that real?
Yes, there was a bunch of songs that he got of Frank Sinatra's that had never been performed before that he made an album of and performed for the first time. Like
no shot. That's
Frank Sinatra stuff. And like, dude, if I was being true to my heart, that'd probably be in the top 5 somewhere. But You're gonna edit that part
I
out. No one's
love
ever gonna
that.
hear it. It's fine. What's Droppy?
The Droppy for Andrew's album of the year. I was really back and forth on this album and the Viagra Boys album. The Viagra Boys album is really, really good. But the Droppy this year goes to this little band called Mama. The album is Welcome to My Blue Sky. I fell in love with this band hard after seeing them open for my favorite band of all time, Death Cab for Cutie. Up in we went and saw Death Cab. It was probably the beginning of 2023, and they open, and normally like the opener for shows, you're just like, all right, it's the opener, like, you know, this is our chance to just like chill and just kind of sit back for a little bit. I've never been wowed by an opener the way that I was wowed by these guys' sound. It's so like, it's very like 90s grungy kind of inspired. They have two female lead vocalists, and it's just like, especially on that 2022 album, whenever I saw them open, it was a lot more grungy, really like kind of garbage, like Pixies inspired back from 90s, like late 80s. And then this one like takes a little bit of that, and then they add a little bit more flair on it, with some cool like guitar effects that don't just make it seem like so grunge like all the way through. It actually adds like some cool dynamic to it and a little more like interesting parts throughout the album. Yeah, really recommend. They've got some nice like catchy hooks on here. I think 3 of my top 5 songs on my Spotify Wrapped were from this album. Really good, really catchy stuff, like earworm kind of stuff. Yeah,
nice. So, that sounds
that's the Droppy.
Sounds up my alley. I feel like I saw this on a list somewhere when I was trying to go through my top 10.
You probably did. I've seen it on a couple of lists. I think, not that I trust Rolling Stone lists with anything. They put the Taylor Swift album at like 15.
I was gonna say, but I looked at their top 100. They had some wild picks on there.
Stinker alert.
Lux was only Lux was 3 for them. I think they put the Bad Bunny album at number 1. I think Lady Gaga was number 2 for them. I want to say
deserved. Not that Rolling Stone is ever right about anything. I would like to really push that thought.
You heard it here first, folks. It's number 1 Rolling Stones fan. Next up, we have Video of the Year, and this was a category that I presented in case we had a YouTube video or something like that that we really loved and wanted to share. Do you have a selection for this Droppy?
It's kind of a cheat answer. It's not exactly one video. It's a collection of videos / live streams. The Tim Geddes versus Greg Miller Stars in the Bank saga on Kind of Funny is the best content that I've seen the entire year. It's simply the best bit that they have ever done on that podcast.
Can you believe there are people who didn't like that? Like, that blows my mind.
I don't understand.
I 100% on your side. I thought it was hilarious.
So, dude, when he finally cashes it in, and it's when Tim is interviewing the Onimusha director, like a game from Tim's childhood, and Greg says, "Nah, screw you, dude. We're doing this right now," and he gets them in on it.
Insane.
Like, it's the best thing that I've ever seen them do. It's so good. I got Kayla in on it too. Kayla's been watching all of the Game Showdown stuff with me. I made her watch all of all of the highlights from that whole thing. That music, dude. As soon as
It's so good.
It's so amazing.
I agree.
But yeah, that's all I got with that one.
Amazing. I have 2 videos here. They're both from some big YouTube folks, nothing indie here you probably haven't heard of. One is called How Counter-Strike Took Over My Life by Nakey Jakey.
Oh yeah, I know Nakey Jakey. Yeah.
I think bar none, he is my favorite YouTube channel, period. I think that he is so funny and can also be so profound when he wants to be.
Yeah.
But obviously his humor stuff is what stands out the most to me. But this was a like hour and a half long video. He posts like twice a year. Like literally, I think this year he's only done 2
It's
videos.
always a big deal when he posts.
So this is one of his 2 videos. His other one was also really good, which was he did a couple of videos where he's like, so and so is outdated. He's like, Bethesda's design sensibility is outdated. Like Red Dead 2 and Last of Us Part 2 are outdated, are 2 really famous videos of his. But he did this one called How Counter-Strike Took Over My Life, where it literally just documents his journey on him first starting to play Counter-Strike and his goal to become like a really good competitive player in a game, which is something I feel like a lot of us have, thought, at least when we play any of these competitive games. But of course, in his typical style, it is presented in a way that is so engaging. Like I've never watched a single game of Counter-Strike in my life. I never played Counter-Strike. I shouldn't care. But it was an hour and a half where I was so invested in like what his journey was. So I learned a lot about Counter-Strike in the process. But he obviously, as all of his videos do, goes into depth about kind of the pitfalls of, becoming so obsessed with the singular thing, and also, the upsides, that his positive and his negative experiences with it, in a way that is much more about his personal journey than it is about Counter-Strike or becoming good at Counter-Strike. So that, and also another video by another very famous YouTuber, Drew Gooden, called Greed is Destroying the World.
I don't think I've heard of this one.
He's an old school Vine guy. You've heard of him because you definitely remember the Vine road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does.
I didn't know this dude was still making
That's
stuff.
Drew Gooden. He has 4.75 million subscribers on YouTube.
Wow.
So he's got some good videos, but definitely one of my favorites is one that he did just a month ago that just very, he's not an economist. He's not some professional. Like, he is a YouTuber, but like he presents information about why we kind of feel the way we do. I feel like in the current economic situation, and such layman's and understandable terms, that it's really enlightening. It was humbling in a way that I was like, we always, I feel like, have been saying, oh, everything is so expensive now. Why is everything so expensive? Like, why, we know that there's like however many people, the 1% that own 99% of the wealth or whatever, and just kind of breaking down a lot of the math behind some of these things and how we got here, basically. So it's
cool.
A bit of a depressing watch, but it is one that I thought was it was just so succinctly put about maybe like how we are in the situation that we're in, and like generationally why our parents maybe would like feel one way about, like, you always hear people talk about like, the cost of the average age of someone owning a house is so much higher now. And it's like, well, this is why it was so much easier for the generation before us to get that kind of stuff. Whereas, if you weren't a baby investing in this, account, then sorry, you were just born at the wrong time, and just kind of explaining why and how some of that happens from his perspective. Again, not like he's,
that's really interesting. Yeah.
So
I like that.
Both of those, I thought,
as we were sitting here, I did actually think of one more that I would like to shout out.
Please do.
It was either at Summer Games Done Quick this year or at Awesome Games Done Quick, but there was a Crazy Taxi speedrun.
I know what you're talking about.
Where they had a live band play the soundtrack from Crazy Taxi, and I sat there, I watched that whole thing. I normally don't watch a lot of like I won't say like niche stuff from Games Done Quick. Like, I normally watch whatever big, they do like Super Metroid almost every year. They do like a Mario race or like something like that. I'll normally watch stuff like that, and anything else is kind of just like either on in the background or, I'm like vaguely paying attention to it. And that one like drew me in like no other Crazy Taxi speedrun has ever drawn me in. It was just full of so much energy, and the crowd is so cool. Really, really big shout out on that one.
Yeah. I forgot Awesome Games is happening right now. Actually, I'm sad that I'm not watching that. Those events are insane, dude.
There's so much
there were
fun.
multiple. There was, I think, one where a dog, like, I think a dog was speedrunning something at one of them this year too.
Wait, actually,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
dang.
they've been.
I've fallen off of it a little bit. I need to get back into watching it. I used to watch it like every year, or the twice a year that they do it. Yeah. I would sit there and I just have it up on the TV like the entire time. Yeah. But
I did watch because
that sounds sick.
AGDQ. Yeah, I always get the letters wrong. It's happening right now, and I saw someone do a Super Mario World speedrun with a controller that was set up just for one hand. Like they beat Super Mario World in like 15 minutes. Like I think it was actually only 11 or 12 minutes with one hand. It was insane.
That's sick. So, that's super sick. I love that.
So my droppy, it goes to the Nakey Jakey video, I think. But both are very good.
Yeah. And then mine, of course, is the Stars in the Bank. So good. So good.
Next up is New to You. This category is for the best game we played this year for the first time that wasn't released this year. Now, I made this category just for you, Andrew, because I know you always say that you don't play a lot of games that came out this year. You're always, that's not entirely true. I also played more games that weren't from this year than usual, but I thought that, as Mr. Nintendo, Mr. Retro, maybe there could be something in here that you could.
This year was kind of an exception for me. I really did not dive into the backlog almost at all this year, which is really okay. I did like a little bit, like right before Switch 2 came out. Like I put Kirby and the Forgotten Land on here. Like I had played it a little bit whenever it first came out, but I like beat it to completion this year, and that game like really did stick with me. Also, just recently, I mean, I've beat this game before. It's not exactly new to me, but it's like the easiest play ever, and it was just such a fun time all over again. I've replayed through Metroid Zero Mission after I beat Metroid Prime 4, and it's like solidified itself as my favorite 2D Metroid again. It's such an easy play. I actually think that you really like it. It's like 4 hours. Like it's so short. It's the shortest Metroid probably out there, and it's handholdy, but not like intrusively handholdy. And it's probably the best paced Metroid game. It's like probably every 15 minutes you're getting a new power up, or every 20 minutes you're getting a new like significant upgrade.
That actually sounds really cool.
So it's not exactly new.
No,
it's really nice.
I like those newer games that are usually more condensed experiences. So I feel like that would be. Yeah. Is that on NSO?
Yeah, that's on the Game Boy Advance NSO. It's basically just a remake of Metroid 1 for the NES, which makes that game infinitely more playable. I still have never beat the Metroid on NES because I just think it's abysmal to play nowadays. But it's a very, very good time.
Gotcha. My New to You, I was a little torn on because I'm currently playing through one right now that I think could be the number one in this category for me, but I'm not done with it, so I'm not sure. That is a Silent Hill 2 remake. Okay. That game was added to the PlayStation Plus collection, and Mayor loves watching me play spooky stuff, so I had downloaded it to give it a shot, and we're about halfway through it based off of the PlayStation counter, and I'm really liking it. It's a little bit of a slow start, but it is so... It's not creepy, but it's uncanny in a way. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
It's a different type of horror. Resident Evil has these things that are like kind of meant to jump out and scare you, or, it's like more traditional horror. And this is like... You just get the sense something's wrong. Like, and I'm not done with it.
It's more like a sense of like discomfort.
Yeah. So it's a cool experience to be having. And obviously it's regarded as a classic. People love that game. So that one's cool. But the one that I've beaten that I'll probably give it to, just because I have seen it all the way through and I know how much I enjoyed it, is Yakuza Kiwami 2. Just a little throwback. You listeners know how I feel about my Yakuza games. But I wanted to go ahead and put that one up because I think that was, it's pretty high up in my Yakuza ranking, and I think that's one of the best overall stories for sure in the earlier games, especially. So I was glad that I was able to kind of continue my journey back into that series, and I think that one was an especially good highlight. So
Solid pick.
But-
Solid pick.
I think Silent Hill 2 could one up it. By the time I'm done with it, just because it is a little bit unique. But I'll go ahead and give the Droppy to Kiwami too.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
Next up, we have best DLC / expansion / ongoing content, which I made intentionally broad so that because every time I'm like going through my head, part of it is like, okay, in theory, we'll do these droppies again, right? And I feel like there's usually at least one a year DLC that I play that I'm like, this is really good. This deserves some recognition. And so in case it doesn't, go on the game of the year list, which we'll discuss later, I think we're open to DLC on those lists ourselves. But there could also be expansions that are like, if there's a character we really fell in love with in a fighting game, like for you, Street Fighter, New Mortal Kombat, or something like that, or ongoing content. I thought about mentioning Marvel Rivals because I think they've done really great on the content they released and stuff this year.
Oh yeah, that's valid. Yeah.
So it's a little broad, but basically just any game that has gotten something added to it that you really, really enjoyed in the year 2025.
My pick for this, I only really played one DLC this year, and it was the thank you update for Expedition 33. That dropped the night of the Game Awards. Yeah. They dropped it like after they won Game of the Year, and what a time that was, dude. It took me a sec to get back into like the Expedition 33 like headspace and try to like not so much like refigure out the game. Like I've definitely got it like figured out, but like kind of remember my build and like what all was going on with it. But once I did, we were so back. It was just such a beautiful new area that they added. Like and it's so busy. Like there's a lot going on. And I saw a lot of people like hating on it online a little bit. They're like, dude, what is this? What is this Unreal Engine slop? What is this? just throwing the slop around. But I think that it actually makes sense in terms of like the story implications of it and all that kind of stuff. And it have you played this?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So they added new bosses to like the tower or whatever, and those bosses are hard.
I didn't do that. I literally just did Versos.
Didn't do those.
The area they added.
Yeah. I didn't do any, or I at least attempted all of the tower bosses. Got absolutely obliterated. Said I'll do this on New Game Plus whenever I do it in like a year. But the final boss of the new area, like, really gave me a whooping.
Yeah,
big time. Especially that final attack. Like I could get it all the way to the end, and it was like 4 or 5 times that last attack would just get me.
I didn't know you'd played it. I literally texted our friend Michael and was like, dude, that last attack took me way too long. Because I literally, I essentially beat the fight like 5 times.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter because I messed up.
I forgot about because it's a gradient counter that you have to do, and you have to counter it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else that you can do about it. If you don't dodge, it's an instant kill.
Yeah. Well, and it had been so long since I played, I legitimately forgot like how to even gradient. I was like, I don't even know what button. I was like, am I even pressing the right button? Much less am I getting the timing right?
Yes.
I also played that DLC. It was gorgeous. I almost kind of feel like it didn't do itself it did itself a bit of a disservice for me, and that like that being what's freshest in my mind coming into the end of the year talks, because I did feel so kind of out of place. For some reason it took me a really long time to get back into the swing of things and like remember how to play basically. And I was max level with one of my characters. My team overall was very high level. So like I could kind of brute force my way through stuff, but I didn't feel good about some of those fights. The last fight you can't really brute force. And it was super satisfying like once I got into it and figured it out. But it was like I never one time during my main game have any issue that some people I saw had, where it's like, I wish this game just had a mini map. I was like, yeah, it would be nice, but like I never am lost in this game. Whereas like in that area, I was like, bro, where am I, man? I don't know what is happening.
Exactly.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know where it is that I'm supposed to be finding whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing. So it was a bit overwhelming for me, but the music is still. I would do that one theme that they added for that fight,
theme,
the one that they played during the trailer.
Oh.
It's like, oh my god, dude. Yeah, it is still great. A lot of really fun cosmetics in that update as well, but really good DLC and free. It's free. One. It's like, come on. I am so sad that photo mode wasn't in the game whenever I was playing through it originally, dude. I would have taken so many pictures. Could have gone crazy.
People were going crazy on the pictures once that photo mode came out.
Yeah. For long-time listeners here, I almost wanted to put something else in this category for my winner, to spice it up, because you probably know what I'm about to say. It's Lies of P Overture. I truly adore that DLC. I think it's great. The weapons in it are so good. It is better than the base game, and the base game was already fantastic. So, maybe we'll talk about it more later. So that's
maybe.
Droppy for the best DLC expansion ongoing content for me goes to Lies of P Overture. This next category, this is a fun one. You've got to try this. This category is not really a category that I guess it's a testament to whatever game it is that we're about to list, but it's not necessarily doesn't have to be from 2025. This is just something that I thought for our podcast here. I probably should have saved this for the end, actually, but the You've Got to Try This award we're giving to a game that we love individually and are tasking the other person to play by the end of next year. And the look on your face is so scary. It's quite funny.
Looks like you're playing Final Fantasy 14, buddy. All of it. No, I'm just kidding.
I will be tracking your progress.
No, this one I didn't even have to think about it. You could actually, I will let you fill in the blank here. Andrew's Droppy for the You've Got to Try This award goes to
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Correct. Very good, sir. Very good. Claps in the chat.
As I was
Chris.
putting this in the doc, I was like, man, I don't. Why am I doing this to myself? I know what he's gonna pick.
You're signing yourself up for it,
I'm
dude.
like, what if he has something, out of left field though that I'm not expecting? So, okay.
No, I'm going full predictable on this one.
I started it for you before. I started it for you before. I will stick with it. I will go back.
You will love it.
I've got to decide if I'm gonna do a full restart or just go back to where I was. I think I remember pretty well everything up to that point. I'll probably just try and blow that one back up. But I was only like 5 hours in.
You'll be fine.
I was like right where he basically gets the time powers.
The visions. Yeah.
So
you should be fine. You might need to look up like a combat thing again. There's like some. Or no, you're early enough in the game that I don't think that it matters. Yeah. No, you're good.
All right. Well, lucky for you, this goes both ways, buddy.
I can fill in the blank on this one, I think.
Go ahead. I want to see what your guess is.
Yakuza, Like a Dragon.
You know what's crazy? I had on my document, I was going to let you pick Yakuza, Like a Dragon, or Yakuza 0. But since you said Like a Dragon...
I'd probably do Like a Dragon.
All right,
I'll play Like a Dragon.
Especially since you gave me a long ass game, I'm gonna give you a long ass game.
Dude, I'm down with a long. I need a long ass game.
Yakuza, Like a Dragon is especially long. So all right, there you go. You have it here in recording here. I'm gonna put it into the Google Doc here. Is that you have to play by the end of next year, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I have to have beaten Xenoblade Chronicles. There you go. In writing and recording.
Beautiful. We'll
report back.
I guarantee you by the end of next year, you'll have 1, 2, 3, And all the DLCs beat. I guarantee you're gonna love
You're
it.
gonna pass me in my Yakuza playthrough too. You'll play 7. You go back and play 0, 1, 2, 3 is about to come out. You'll be ready for that.
Oh Jesus,
then you can
man.
jump ahead to 8. Maybe throw in a little pirate Yakuza just to cleanse the palate.
Oh, God. There's so many of them.
It really is. It really is.
Why? It's okay. It's okay. I hope that I hate it. I don't have to play so many games.
You won't. I really don't think you will. I don't think
I will either. I think those games are very, very me coded.
I think 0 would be a little bit more risky, only because the brawler combat I don't think is as much of your thing. I still think you'd like.
That's why
the
I would rather
story.
do Like a Dragon.
I think from a starting point, I still obviously it makes sense to start with 0, but like if I'm trying to hook you, I think Like a Dragon, because for you specifically that feels more up your alley, and it is. I mean, it's where I started. It's my favorite, and like there's like a couple story things that I feel like won't hit as hard as if you would like played them in order, but like I still love the series and I did it this way, so
yeah.
But
I'm pumped about it. I'm not gonna lie. I was eyeballing it the other day. I was looking for something to play the other day because I don't have any more Nintendo games to play. That's why I'm playing Metroid Zero Mission, a freaking Game Boy game from 2003 right now. So yeah, I was eyeballing that a little bit. So I think I'm down. I'll boot it up.
we'll keep you posted, everybody. This will be fun. The next award is called the tier list. Which of the tier lists we made this year was your favorite? Okay, so we have I'm just gonna run through them all really quickly because we didn't have a tier list on every single episode. We had them on most. We had our very first one, ranking our top games of 2024, ranking every Marvel.
Can you believe? Sorry to interrupt you. Can you believe that was a year ago?
I can't.
We didn't.
It's actually
That's
crazy.
so wild to me.
It's
Anyways,
times of flat circle. Ranking our games of 2024, ranking every Marvel Disney Plus show, ranking our favorite co-op experiences. I'm basing this off of the thumbnails because I think any of the ones that don't have like
if it doesn't have a thumbnail,
we probably didn't do tier list. Then it was the Switch games tier list. Then it was the Naughty Dogs game tier list. Then it was Phase 5 of the MCU. Then it was video game adaptations ranked. Then it was this one was me and Fahad, Pokemon Starter Evolutions. Another me and Fahad was I can't talk tonight. Marvel fighting game predictions. Me and Kush did superhero video game tier list. And then you and I did 3D Mario games tier list, and then ranking all game of the year winners. That's a pretty wide
spread right
that's
there.
That's a fun year, man. That was a fun year.
Yeah, it's really not bad. The ones that stuck out to me as Mr. Nintendo are definitely the. I'll give an honorable mention to the Switch games tier list. There's a glaring omission, or not exactly omission, but a very wrongful placing on that one. That it's been 8 months. And we're still sitting here talking about it. We're still talking about it.
Go away.
But I will give the Droppy this year to our 3D Mario tier list.
Yeah.
Because I got to put Mario 3D World in the S tier. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. I'm nothing if not a benevolent co-host. I was thinking about that again the other day. I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, actually, what I was thinking about was because I almost started up my Mario Galaxy 2 playthrough because I was like, I need to play this again. I have it. I just haven't started it yet. But I keep trying to go back and finish 2025 stuff, but I need to let it go. The year's over. All right, I just got to move on. It will be after this podcast episode. Yeah, I like a lot of these. I don't think it's recency bias, even though you listed our second newest episode and I'm about to name our newest episode. I really did. I said even before we started it, I was like, ranking all the game of the year winners is like...
That was my third on my list.
I think that's probably my number one, just as a concept. That's so fun. It doesn't hurt that it's our second most watched episode, you know? Clearly the people agree. But
clearly.
I really enjoyed that one. shout out to Kush as well, because I really enjoyed our superhero video game tier list one as well. Because that was just so many. I can't believe we did all of that.
I went and I didn't have time to listen to that one like all the way through, but I definitely skated onto that part of the episode, and good God,
it's like 40 games or something, dude.
Why'd you put that poor man through?
It was his pick. He said he wanted to do it.
It was his
like,
pick.
you know what you're getting into, right? But that one,
I love it.
And the Naughty Dog one too, because that let me get into my bag about Last of Us. I'm super. And how passionate. I think we both are about that franchise. So, yeah, my runner up would probably be. But yeah, I'd say that's my top three: Naughty Dog 3, superhero video game 2, and then I'll go to winners. My droppy. You said your droppy was the 3D Mario games tier list one.
Yes, yeah, that's probably my 3D. Yeah.
Next up, we can get through this one kind of quick because we did kind of touch on it a little bit, potentially at least based off what your answer is at the Game Awards episode. Most anticipated game for the games that are to come in 2026.
I've thought about this a little bit more since we recorded the episode. I actually don't even know if this game was in the most anticipated games. Well, okay, sorry. I'm gonna say this is an honorable mention because I don't actually know if it's coming out next year or what. Tides of Annihilation, really up there for me.
The that's new Jennifer English one with like Greek. It's like, is it Greek mythology that they're gods? There's some sort of. Let me look it up because there was some mythology I feel like she was fighting against that was cool. Yeah, it was Arthurian. It's like the Knights of the Round Table. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what cool. It was. That's what it was. Yeah. Which is cool. We don't get a lot of stuff like that.
You think this game's...
And it's just another like cool looking action game. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm saying this is a little honorable mention real quick. I don't know if it's coming out next year. I don't think that it is. I think it's probably a 2027 game.
Yeah.
Which is why the droppy for Andrew's most anticipated game of 2026 goes to Pragmata.
I thought about putting that on my list too. That game,
I'm really interested in this game, man. Yeah. I think the idea for the combat is so interesting and unique, and it's not something that I'd ever like thought about. Having like essentially like a puzzle to not so much do damage, but correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. I don't exactly know how much of what I'm saying is right. I've kind of glanced at some YouTube videos and just watched the trailers that have been shown at the places that we watch. But you do a puzzle that will either like take off armor from enemies or weaken them in some way, and it makes it easier to deal damage to them in the long run. Something along those lines.
Yeah,
which
basically there's like,
it's so interesting.
This little girl who's on your shoulder the whole time that has like this little Mega Man looking cannon that everyone made. It made everyone think that it wasn't Mega Man.
I'm gonna be kind of mad.
They've said it's not, but it's this little girl who you use to hack into enemies. Like, I don't think you can attack most of them until you hack in, and there's like a hacking mini game where it's like you have to do press the buttons in the right order or whatever, and when you do that, then you can actually attack them as the character you're playing as, the main character, with like a gun or whatever. But yeah, it's like the most novel concept for a game like this I feel like we've seen in a while.
Yeah, it's just like for like, especially in like the third person adventure like action kind of genre, like I feel like we don't see a lot of like innovation in that space. Most of the time it's either a relatively, I don't want to say like straightforward action game or like a third person shooter. Like, I feel like that's like most of what we get. So to have like an actual like really unique and interesting spin on it is really, really intrigued me in a way that I haven't been intrigued by any other game that's been announced for next year.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
So that would be my droppy.
I got two. I'll decide after I've talked about them, which is, I think I know what my number one droppy is. One is when we talked about the Game Awards, Wolverine. I think it's going to be great.
Of course.
It's Insomniac. I love his design they have in that game from what we've seen so
Yeah, I
far.
think it looks good.
It's really cool. This is another game I actually have talked about on the podcast. I think it was at last year's, I want to say it was Xbox event. At Fate's End. This is the new game by the devs called Thunder Lotus, the team that made Spiritfarer.
I remember
that game I really, really love.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got this
that's
gorgeous hand-drawn art style. It looks like a very flashy action game, but the combat...
It's like a card game, isn't it?
Yeah, the combat is like determined by like dialogue choices you make as you're fighting. It seems like.
That's right.
And so At Fate's End is an action adventure game where you fight the ones you love. The game's creative director, Nick, says it best. With At Fate's End, we're taking everything we learned from Spiritfarer, that rich emotional core, that interplay of mechanics and narrative, and pushing it into new territory. This is a more intense, more action-driven game, but no less intimate. It's about how families break apart and how they might come back together. Like, that game looks gorgeous. Yeah, and there is like some sort of card aspect to it I've seen in some of the pictures here. It almost looks like it's like a family tree kind of thing. Like I'm looking at their website and they literally have like a family tree tab. But
interesting.
Yeah, this game looks gorgeous. I trust these devs wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
33 Immortals, I think was
Because I know how much you love Spiritfarer.
I adore that game. It's definitely in my top 10 of all time, I think. And they made that multiplayer kind of roguelike 33 Immortals that's still kicking, I think, and I feel bad because I put it on like one of my most anticipated, I think. And I
forgot about that game.
I just never got around to it because it's just
did it release?
I don't know.
It was in early access for a while.
I don't know if it's still in early access or if it's gotten a 1.0, but I should still check that game out because I still do think from an art style standpoint it's gorgeous. But I think this is definitely more of what I'm looking for from them, and everything I've seen about it looks stunning. It looks beautiful. It looks like it has a story hook that could really intrigue me, and it's got some really unique gameplay stuff from what I can tell. So I think that will be great if it comes out this year. That's 2026.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, that's a great pick. I completely forgot all about that one.
Fingers crossed. What's our next category here, Andrew?
On mine, I've got sorry, I don't have the full names of them written all out.
Okay.
Is it like sorry?
It's called What a Nice Surprise. The What a Nice Surprise award goes to a game from this year that you knew nothing about or didn't expect to be good that really impressed you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. A nice surprise this year was Lost Soul Aside being as bad as it was. Sorry, this is my opposite one.
That's
a little
crazy.
bit. I rode this game's dick. Sorry, for like years. I was like, everyone, please believe me. This game is gonna hit. It's gonna be one of the best action games you've ever played in your life. I have full faith in this team. Even though they gave me no reason to besides some really flashy, cool looking trailers, never released the game. It's been in development hell for like 10 freaking years. And it's so just like not it, dude. It's not it. I played like 3 hours of it. I did not beat it.
Only 3. I figured with how excited you were, you'd at least see it through.
No, man. So I bought it day one. I went against everything that the reviews were saying. It was sitting at like a 60 or like a 70 on like Metacritic or OpenCritic whenever it first dropped. I was like, surely these people don't know what they're talking about. I know that this is a good game. And I bought it and I put it in, and dude, I turned it off within like 20 minutes. Like, a lot of the game is just so awkward, like in animations and scene transitions. Voice acting especially is terrible.
That's what I
granted,
saw.
I'm playing
for sure.
Yeah, granted, I'm playing with English, English dub, So, and it's a Chinese game, and I don't know how much funding they actually had for this game, but what really made me turn it off was when the character starts running. I don't know what his name is. I'm gonna call him Walmart Noctis. When Walmart Noctis starts running, and I think they fixed it now, but day one, when he would run, every time that he would take a step, the camera would move up a little bit. He'd take a step, the camera would move up. It wasn't like a smooth camera. It was like a do 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 do, and it was and it was making me lose my mind. The characters, when they talk, their faces would not move, just their mouth. Like, it was, oh, dude. I don't know what happened with this game, but it surprised me in ways that I didn't think that I would be surprised. So that's my meme pick on this one.
That's rough. Hey, a droppie is a droppie, you know?
Yeah, it'll take it. Yeah. But you go ahead. I do have a real one, but you go ahead with yours. I have to recover from reliving that for a sec.
Yeah, please take your time. So this was a kind of a tough category for me, because I just know about so many games. What do you mean a game I knew nothing about? Come on, bro. But I think there were two that surprised me this year. I would say the runner up is going to be one that I literally played for the first time a week ago, and that is Lego Party, which I picked up because we had some friends come over, and I have a friend group, Fahad and Kush and all them, that have this game and had been saying how good it was, and I was interested, but I was like, I don't know, $40. I already have Mario Party, whatever. It was on sale, and I had some friends over, and they're like, yeah, we could play Mario Party. I'm like, I'm not like super feeling Mario Party right now, but like if we want to play a party game, I'd at least like to play something new, you know? And so I decided to give it a shot finally because it was on sale. And I think this game's like super fun. Now, I don't know if it's just because I'm so used to Mario Party at this point. It was like just refreshing to have something new. But I think for a party game, the pacing is great. It runs really well. There's a lot of cool little customization you can do with your minifigs and stuff. The boards are really cool and dynamic. Like you can do different customization. Like you build certain parts of the board as you go, so they can be different each time. The mini games are fun and like a good mix of skill and kind of like more luck stuff. It's just like a super solid party game that when I first saw it was like, I never would have thought I would get this at all, much less actually enjoy it. And I think it's really good. But
that's cool. I've heard a lot of really good things about that game.
Yeah. And it's like, what's nice about it is it's not locked to Nintendo consoles. So like I got it on PlayStation, but my friends who I played it with, if they wanted to get it on their PC, then we could still play crossplay. Like it's got a lot of the more modern kind of, I think,
features.
Touches. Yeah. And the announcers are really funny. Like I do think the downside to having announcers is that like you're going to get a lot of repeated dialogue, unfortunately, but like we're already hearing some, and we've only done like 3 of the 4 maps, but oh geez. But like a lot of lines are genuinely like we were laughing as we were playing them. So I think that is a testament to them.
Nice.
But my droppy, I will say, goes to a similar game, which is Peak. Peak's
really
kind of low on my overall like ranked list this year, just because it's not like my favorite type of game. I will say I don't think I played hardly any bad games this year. I don't think I did play any bad games, at least none that I put on the list, of games that I've spent enough time with to at least acknowledge that I touched. But so Peak is not like my favorite game by any means, but I do think that it was a game I didn't know anything about. Certainly didn't like. I played actually a little bit of Aggro Crab's previous game, the developers' previous game, Another Crab's Treasure, which was like a Souls-like, and I was like, this is okay. It didn't. I
did not know that Another Crab's Treasure people made Peak. Yeah. That's wild. Yeah. Okay.
It's like this whole Souls-like game that they made and like, you know, sold okay, I think. And now they have this phenomena that's like they made in a weekend or something. It's not literally a weekend, but like obviously this was kind of a throwaway project for them that has now become a phenomenon. And again, Fahad, Kush, that friend group really like this game, so we played it a good bit. And it's one that I do certainly respect for the amount of fun moments you can get into and how much I do think it resonates with a lot of people. And I still enjoy it. I make it sound like it's a pity thing. I like Peak. I don't like it as much as some people, but it is definitely a game that it's a nice surprise. I knew nothing about. I never could have expected like this game would come out, much less that I would play it, 4 or 5 times and have a good time with my friends whenever I did. So it's a nice little surprise.
Yeah, I honestly, that was not what I was expecting. That's actually that's kind of cool. I never touched Peak. I don't play too many like multiplayer or like even like co-op games like that. But this one piqued my interest. Sorry, it was about to just roll off, and then I had to think about if I could replace it with anything. Because I always wanted to play that. I always wanted to play Chain Together. Like all those kinds of games, like they always interest me. I just don't know if I would sit down and play them for like very long.
Yeah.
But it helps that they're always like cheap games. Like they're like $5 or $10.
Yeah.
Like, they're basically, if you sit there and have fun for a night, like you've probably made your investment back. It's fine. But yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm really glad that you were digging that one. My actual droppy for this is Kirby Air Riders surprised me in a way this year that I did not think that this would be my main game for the final part of my year. But this has been my go-to, like I'm not really feeling like playing, like getting deep into like a single player game or anything like that. So I'm going to hop into some Kirby Air Riders, and every single time that I do, I just have so much fun. It's my new, I always kind of have a game like this. At one point it was Smash. At another point it was Valorant. At another point it was Street Fighter. And it's still kind of Street Fighter. I kind of bounce back and forth. But ever since Kirby Air Riders came out, I have not touched Street Fighter. Like I've maybe played it like once or twice. I've been full on the Kirby Air Riders
See you at Evo at the Kirby Air Riders table.
Catch me there, dude. Catch me there. I will absolutely lose because I'm kind of dog at this game. But there's so many like different like. We'll probably talk about this game in a little bit. But yeah, I just got really, really into this game, and I'm still really into this game. Before we started recording this, I was literally sitting over there playing it in the chair that my dog is currently occupying. And I told you, yeah, I'll be on in 5 minutes because I was in the middle of a game of Kirby Air Riders. So
I think it's great for this category because it's also like, what a surprise this game even exists. I mean, if
honestly,
you told me a year ago that we were going to get a sequel to that game in particular, I never would have
like a game as niche as Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube would be getting a sequel, basically like a remake, a full-on remake and a sequel, basically put into one game. I would say that you are a crazy person because there's no way that Sakurai is doing this, and he's also doing another Smash. Is he doing another Smash? We'll find out probably this year. But yeah, this is a very, very welcome game for me. I needed it more than I thought that I needed it.
That's beautiful.
At a time when all of the Street Fighter DLC characters are pissing me off, Kirby Air Riders just sweeps in and saves the day.
Sakurai just puts his arm around you. But it's like really jittery because the netcode's still really bad.
But yeah, so yeah, that would be my droppy for the best surprise.
Nice. And yeah, my runner up was like a party, but my droppy goes to Peak for nice surprise. So, next award, only a few left. We've got the Underdog Award for game you think not enough people know or talk about.
Let's run it back. All right, the Underdog Award, Kirby Air Riders.
Kirby Air Riders sweeps. They just get every category. Best movie of the
Kirby
year.
Air
All
Riders.
the cutscenes in Kirby Air Riders. Best album of the year. Kirby Air Riders soundtrack.
The soundtrack is crazy. It's so good. Yeah, I don't think that enough people have played this game. You know how whenever you play Smash, there's like the global Smash Power thing, and it'll tell you like how many people you're better than. Like, I know I just said that I'm dog at this game. My number is only at like 300,000, which makes me think that this game has sold less than 1 million copies. or I'm only better than 300,000 people, which would be absolutely crazy to me because I know a bunch of 4-year-olds picked up this game, all right? And unless there are 300,000 4-year-olds playing this game, and then me, and then everybody else,
while they listen to Somber, yeah.
I wasn't trying to roast you. Yeah, I just think that this is at the moment, this is a criminally underplayed game that more people should give a shot. Like you did, and you actually really liked it, right?
Yeah.
Please vouch. Please vouch. Please vouch.
I enjoyed it when you came over and we tried it out together. I couldn't justify buying it for $70, but like it would be a cool game to catch on a sale if Nintendo ever did sales.
Oh, for sure.
And dive into a little bit more, for sure.
I think this is one of those that like even right now, like we're getting Zelda Echoes of Wisdom that just came out last year, and like they're putting that on sale for like $40, which is crazy that's ever not ever going on sale, but going on sale this soon. Yeah. This is one that I could see like in maybe a year going on sale for $40,
and then it'll maybe win the what was it called, the New to You award next year for me. It'll
there you go.
Next year too. That's crazy.
What?
This might be the hardest category for me because it's hard for me to figure out like what I think isn't represented enough based off of like I'm super, again, it's gonna sound really cocky, like I'm super tuned in, you know? So like I feel like I hear some people talk about some of these things, and I know there's like you certainly these games could be getting more love from areas I'm just not hearing about or whatever, but I'm looking at my list of games I played this year, and I think the ones I want to shout out are
Call of Duty, Black Ops 7.
Call of Duty, Dead Ops specifically. Thank you. I think I'm going to change my answer here. Okay, so I will say, I'm not going to do any runner-ups. I'm just going to say, I think Ninja Gaiden 4 is probably my underdog, Droppy. I literally don't think I have heard anyone talk about this game since it came out.
Nope.
And I know that some people are, not messing with Microsoft right now because of the whole, stuff going on there. But just in general, like nothing on my feeds, nothing on my YouTube, like recommended or from the people I subscribe to. I literally don't think I heard a single review for this game. Like I know it did get reviews because it's sitting at I think an 82 on OpenCritic.
It's on my team.
Oh no, yeah. Which I expected it to do a little bit better. Yeah, it's got 138 critic reviews, but like I just didn't hear any of these outlets actually talk about it. It's like they just dropped their review and then it was like no, didn't really have anything else to say, it seems like. And so it was just weird. I didn't really think about that game very much after it first came out, and I resubbed to Game Pass for 1 month to play the Expedition 33 DLC, and I was like, all right, I got this for 1 month. Is there anything else on here that I want to try? And I saw that on there. I was like, you know what? I heard it was pretty good, but like that was all I heard. Let me give it a shot. And I'm about a third of the way through right now, and that game feels so sick, dude. That game
does it?
It feels really good. It is the most satisfying action combat game I've probably played in a long time. Stories, whatever, environments or whatever, but like if you were looking just for a game with some really cool classic, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta-esque action, I mean, this is the best one of those we've gotten in a long time. So yeah. I don't know why more people.
I mean, that's like right up my alley, dude.
Aren't talking about it or giving it a shot.
Yeah.
So
because this is one of my most anticipated, like for the year. Whenever I got announced at that developer direct back in whatever, like April or March or whatever. And then it came around, and I just never. I never got to it. I tried to get to it. We actually might talk about this game again in an upcoming category. But yeah, I really dig just like the style and the vibe of the game. and it just looks so sick, dude.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like the combat, like
It's super smooth. I've only got 2 weapons so far.
it looks smooth.
But like going between them is really cool. The fact that you level up your character's abilities and your weapons abilities separately, it's like an overwhelming amount. Like it's a game I don't feel like I'm playing to the utmost of my ability at all. And the one thing I always hate about these games is they always give you a rank at the end of them, and they make me feel like I'm just terrible
because I get like suck.
B
or
or
C.
C.
Don't play Sonic games,
It
dude.
sucks. It's such a bad feeling. But like
you get to the end of the level, you're like, yeah, I cooked.
Yeah,
I cooked. They're like D+. Huh?
Exactly.
What are you
Like
talking
objectively,
about?
actually, you suck. So, it's one game that I don't feel like I'm mastering, but I'm still thoroughly enjoying moment to moment as I kind of play through it.
Yeah.
And there have been a couple of boss tracks that are pretty sick too. So shout out to that. But yeah, I've not gotten that much into it, but I'm gonna try and finish it before my Game Pass runs out. Because I do think it's quite underrated. I was looking at it, reviews for it just then, and apparently it also came out on PlayStation. I didn't even know that. I feel like I did not see it a single time on the PlayStation Store, and I scroll through that relatively often. It's like so weird. I'm just surprised.
I don't know what happened with it, dude. Yeah, it's shocking.
Because it's a platinum game, Platinum and Ninja Gaiden. It's
a massive game. It's a sequel to a game that, the Ninja Gaiden 3 came out for like the Wii U, dude. Like that was like 2012.
And
like it's been
to like
10 or 15 years.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black or whatever that was that came out earlier this year, which is funny because I didn't love that one. I thought that like the camera angles and stuff were kind of annoying to navigate on it.
Yeah, the camera was a little wonky. So I enjoyed that one for what I did play of it. I didn't play much of it, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah. So I don't know, but worth a try for sure. IMO.
Yeah.
2 awards left. We're almost done here. In Another Life award, the game we most wish we had played this year, but didn't get to it.
So yeah, in Another Life, the Xbox PC app wouldn't require you to use an Xbox controller. I could not figure out for the life of me how to set up my freaking PS5 controller to work with Xbox Game Pass. I don't know how. I've done it before. I know that I've done it before. It didn't work, so I couldn't play Ninja Gaiden 4. Okay, I tried. I downloaded on my computer as we speak, dude. I wanted to play the game. They said, no, you can't use this controller. I said, why? And they said, I don't know.
Got a
because
PlayStation
we're Xbox.
logo on it. Oh man,
it's so annoying. So in Another Life, Microsoft would allow PlayStation controllers to be connected to their app, to let me play that and also Keeper, because I also downloaded Keeper, and guess what? It's also on there. So
I played Keeper for like 30 minutes, also because of my Game Pass resub, and I was like, this game is gorgeous. I'm not enjoying playing it. It is like kind of the definition of a walking simulator.
I was gonna say it looks really like a stylized walking sim.
Yeah, which I've heard that there's like a little bit more to it as you go, and I was unlocking a couple of new aspects to it as I went, so maybe it does get more in depth, but it's a very slow first 30 minutes. Beautiful though. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
In this category, I have 3 that I'm torn on. 2 of them I own. I just haven't played yet. I have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Silent Hill F, and First Berserker Kazan.
Oh yeah.
I own Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because I got it on sale for the Christmas sale, but I didn't want to start until I finished Outer Worlds 2, which I have not played that much because I was playing Ghost of Yotei. So it's just been game after game, man. But I do think I could really fall in love with that game. I'm either going to love that game or super bounce off, but because it got as much buzz as it did, I think it's probably my number 1. Silent Hill F I put on here because I'm playing through Silent Hill 2 and liking enough, and because I know that game also got a good bit of buzz. That one is on sale for like 2 more days, so part of me is like, maybe I should just get that so that can be the next game that I play while Mare, because like I have my game that I play and then I have a game of play that like while Mare watches or whatever, and if we're on our Silent Hill kick, maybe we'll do that. And then First Berserker Kazan is a game, it's a Souls like that came out early this year. where the protagonist is voiced by Ben Starr. And
Love him.
I'd heard good things about it. I know Andy at Kind of Funny liked it. Maximilian Dude was preaching about this game, man, on his end of the year list. It was crazy how much he said he loved it.
Yeah.
And the thing that kind of drew me in the most about it, because I'm a sick man, is it apparently runs quite well on Steam Deck. And I was like,
Kyrie,
I don't really...
please.
The tail. I don't really care generally about the story in a lot of these Souls-like games, and so I was like, this could be the perfect Steam Deck game. Like, if it does run well on that, and I can just kind of use that to chill out whenever I'm watching something or whatever. It shot up my list of priorities because of how much Maximilian Dude really hyped it up and how much he liked it. So I also got that on sale.
Nice.
But I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the one that has the most potential for me, for one that if I had more time, I would have dove into earlier. But I'll get to eventually. But
that's one of those games I have like negative interest in, but I respect it so much.
Yeah.
Like I remember whenever all of the the nominations and stuff for Game of the Year came out, like me as someone who has not even touched it was defending it, singing its praises just a little bit. Those kind of games are not it for me. But I definitely respect that game and respect anybody who's really interested in it. I think it's very respectable.
Yeah. And that brings us to our last category here. The best media of the year. Whether a game, movie, show, album, book, or whatever else. What is the best piece of media you consumed all year, Andrew? This we haven't really talked about this, but this is one that I put in as kind of like this could even be above your game of the year. Like, if you had like your favorite album that you said earlier, if you like that more than any of the games you played, then that would be it, I guess, in my mind. That's kind of how we can talk through this as we go if you have a different idea, but that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, best overall everything.
That's definitely the vibe that I was getting from it. I mean, like, the answer definitely spoils our game of the year talk, but I think that I don't think it's any surprise whenever it comes to our game of the year talk what number one will be.
Should we revisit this? Should we revisit this after we do the tier list? Would that be a fun like cap?
I think so, because are both of our answers the same thing?
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, then maybe we can cap it. I don't know.
Well, let's wrap up, but we just have to make sure we don't forget. We gotta like actually.
Yeah.
But I think we can do that
for sure.
Yeah, let's do that. Are you good with that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Cool.
Why not?
Because then we can kind of segue in. If yours is the game, mine might not be the game. It might be something else.
Right.
So let's do it. Let's get straight into our final teardrop of 2025. Our final tier list of the teardrop pod.
Goodbye.
Bye, Droppies.
The Droppies.
Oh my gosh, you should have been
Goodbye,
flashing
Droppies.
the whole time, dude. Crazy.
All right. We've got quite the list here. You cannot see it on the screen as to not give spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll probably do this similar to how we did last year, where me and Chris just kind of go back and forth. With my number 10, Chris's number 10, my 9, Chris's 9, so on and so forth. I don't have 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, but there is some what's the word
Crossover
that I'm looking for? Some crossover. Yes, there's some overlap in our list. There we go. So I would love for you to start off our list with your number 10.
Okay. My number 10 is a little game called Goodnight Universe. Now, for those who don't know, this is a narrative-driven indie game by the developers of one of my favorite games of all time, Before Your Eyes. This was their follow-up, kind of a spiritual successor, and that it also uses... So Before Your Eyes' whole gameplay mechanic was that you would blink to progress the story. It used a webcam or face tracking to progress every kind of narrative instance. And in this one, you're playing as this baby who realizes they have psychic abilities. And to activate those abilities, you sometimes close your eyes and like focus to try and move something with your mind, or you'll like close your eyes and then look around almost like you're tuning your head like a radio so you can hear the thoughts of someone else around you. So they kind of take that to the next step, still using the face tracking technology as the main gameplay mechanic.
It's really cool,
which is really unique. The story is still really good and emotional, but it's like, I was texting my friend Kayla about this because I showed him Before Your Eyes as well, and he also loved it, and we were talking about, you know, not knowing what to think about this one. And I was like, it was never gonna. It was always a tall order to live up to one of my favorite games of all time. And I do think narratively this is not in the same ballpark as Before Your Eyes for me personally, but that is because that story really, really hit me. And this one is still really good. It's a little bit longer of an experience. Before Your Eyes is like an hour and a half to 2 hours. This was, I think, 3.5 hours was my final clock. So a little bit more in depth, but with that, there wasn't like bloat in it, but not as succinct of an experience. And still a really cool, distinct visual style with how they choose to present stuff. And definitely so clearly their game still. I still think it's my number 10 because the story didn't hit as hard for me. But I still think it is an interesting story. And I still think that it's in my top 10 period because I still think the way that they are telling their stories is very unique and unlike anything else that I've experienced in a game. And, you know, some people, I feel like in the reviews for this said that the gameplay with like the face cam didn't really add anything to it. And I don't really agree with that. I think that if you choose to immerse yourself in it, then it can, but it isn't as intrinsic as I would say the blinking thing is for Before Your Eyes. So it's still a really cool game. And I do recommend it. It's still a short experience. And I'm really glad it exists.
This one's been on my radar for a little bit. I mean, Before Your Eyes has been on my radar for a little bit just because of you. I'm so scared to play that game. I'm not ready for what that game is going to do to me. So I've kind of held off on it just out of fear.
In some ways, I almost feel like Goodnight Universe would be like a good gateway drug because you'll kind of get a sense of what to expect, and maybe you will actually like it more. I think because it's not as good as Before Your Eyes, I won't say objectively because everything is subjective, but in my mind, pretty clearly not as good as Before Your Eyes. Maybe if you don't go in with the expectations of, you know, assuming you also really like Before Your Eyes, you might like Goodnight Universe even more if you play it first, and they're not connected in any way. So could be worth giving it a shot. I definitely recommend experiencing it at least.
For sure. Yeah, I'll definitely be putting it on my list.
And C tier, it's like with any of these games, I stand by what I said earlier. I don't think I played a bad game. I have 32 games on my list that I played from 2025. Of those, I beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Can you beat Mario Kart World? 16, 17, 18, 19, like 19 or 20 of these. And even the ones that are low down, I'm like, I still enjoyed my time with it. I may not have finished it because it wasn't like super grabbing me or whatever. But yeah, it's
because also C tier doesn't mean like that it's bad or anything.
Yeah, I think in the context of this list, it's like, yeah, it's all important to have context, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Next is number 9. I also do not have a number 9, so this is you again, bud. Run it back.
Number 9. I'm a little sad it's this low. Maybe once I see all these, I'll change my order. Once I see it all on paper, I do this every time. Number 9 for me is Blueprints.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a little low. It's a little low, but I think ultimately this game did succumb a little bit to the RNG-ness of the runs, and because Mare and I were enjoying this game so much, and it's a slight ding in my mind because I think there are times I would have fallen off of this if it wasn't for how much Mare was enjoying it. Like, if she hadn't been like, "Oh, do you want to play Blueprints?" I probably wouldn't have. But then when we did, I did enjoy it because we were working through the puzzles and stuff together, which I think enhances the experience in that moment. But it's also like, I don't know, with another game coming up, she didn't have to ask me. I was like, "Yeah, let's play this," And so, I do think that is something to consider. But this game is super cool. It's very atmospheric. It's, a roguelike unlike anyone I've played. You feel really smart when you do solve the puzzles. You can feel so dumb when you're trying to figure out other ones. So I think it just comes with some natural frustrations that come with both the roguelike genre and the puzzle genre. Like, it's not fun when you're trying to figure out a puzzle and you don't know what to do. And it's not fun when you're doing a roguelike and you feel like you kind of get screwed out of something because of RNG. And I think this game has both those elements. But I think that the highs are so high and it is so unique that it still deserves a spot in the top 10 for me. It's like, I wanted to play more of this game, but I felt like at some point I was like, if I'm not literally a genius and or investing obscene amounts of time to try and get the perfect run for some of these things, or being willing to have runs where I'm just not going for what I want to, like, and I had friends who were kind of butting their heads against this game too, and they're like, yeah, I just feel like I can't do what I want to do. And I was like, I feel like, especially in the beginning to middle section of this game, that's kind of to its benefit, because you kind of have to explore more than you maybe would. You don't get to be one track minded. You kind of get to explore more because you have to. And I think the game actually benefits from that. But I do think on the tail end, where you feel like you've gotten a lot of the bigger things and you're trying to figure out some of the more detailed or obscure puzzles, it's like, okay, I've already spent a lot of time in this game, and now I feel like I'm getting diminishing returns for trying to figure out other things. I really just wish I could do this one thing. All that sounds really negative, which is that's just to kind of say why it's lower on my top 10. But I do still think it is a really unique game, and my memories of playing it with Mare are some of my favorite gaming memories this year. It's like a co-op. It's like, it's not a co-op game by definition, but like, it was such a co-op experience for me in a way that I think is really special, and I appreciate what it is on its own as well.
I could also probably put this as my number 9 now that I think about it. I did hop into this one for a couple of runs. I definitely did not put an extensive amount of time into this game at all. I maybe played it for an hour or two. But I remember thinking the idea of it was very, very cool and very interesting, and not like something that I had played before. So yeah, I'm very, very down with this being on the list.
Nice. Do you have a number 8?
I do have a number 8. I'm actually, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth on what my number 8 would be, because one game I played for 50 hours, one game I played for about 2 hours.
Which did you enjoy more? What's in your heart of hearts?
In my heart of hearts, Mario Kart World was number 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
The 50-hour one.
Yeah, I put about 50 hours, or maybe 45 or 50 hours on Mario Kart World. And y'all heard me talk about it a couple episodes ago. It's just not Mario Kart 8. And I don't like a lot of the new features of the game. I like how the carts feel and all of that, but it just feels too chaotic, and I don't like that Nintendo doesn't just let me play 3-lap tracks online. I wish they would just let me play the game the way that I would like to play it, and it just really doesn't sit well with me. So for that reason, I will be voluntarily placing it at the very bottom of the list.
Oh no. For Mario Kart.
Yeah. I imagine this one probably was not on your list at all.
It was my number 18, where it was on my list.
18, yeah, that
So,
sounds about right.
like, it's a good game, you know, and for a while,
no, for sure.
like some of these ones, especially towards the bottom, like I don't like my top 10 is definitely ranked in order. Once you get like more towards the middle bottom, it's like some of these aren't like I look at my 31st game and I'm like, that's not like a bad game. Like I liked it. It was just I don't know. It was a pretty good year for games, I think. Not like
Yeah.
not like a year I'm trying to think like what was it 2020 where we had like
2021 was like that was a
or even 2020
year a little
2023 where we had like Tears of the Kingdom, we had
Baldur's Gate.
There was one. No, it's 2020 is what I was saying because like Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake 1, Last of Us Part 2.
Oh yeah.
Was that Breath of the Wild that year? P5 Roll, like a year where like the tops are like some of like you have like 5 to 10 potential goats of all time, much less like just for that year. Whereas this year it's like I think the top is good. Like the number one especially obviously is like maybe in the running, but like for me it's not like these are. It's a more even playing field if that makes sense in general.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
With that in mind, my number 8 is Avowed.
Okay.
A game that I feel like not a lot of people really talked about, and some who did kind of ragged on it. But I think I said this whenever I talked about it at the beginning of the year on the podcast. This is a game that I understand why some people would call it a 7 out of 10, but it's a 7 out of 10 that I love, like an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Like the combat, I can't get over how fun the combat is in this game, dude. I really, really liked how you could customize your playstyle in this in a way that you just can't generally do in RPGs. Like when you think of great RPGs like Skyrim, or even we talked about this on the Game of the Year podcast, The Witcher to some extent, it's like they're kind of known for being a little stiff and janky in combat. And this is like the exact opposite of that. This was like a game where the combat was my favorite part. And it was so flashy and so customizable on top of a world that was like super fun to explore and an overarching story that I found interesting. I think the companions kind of suck. But and that's like a kind of a big knock in a game like this, but you know, they're not terrible. And every time I put this game down, I was like, it's kind of like a better Donkey Kong Bonanza in that it's like there's some element of junk food to this where it's like I'm just kind of enjoying moment to moment, but it did stick with me more than Bonanza did, if that makes sense, as far as like
I see. Yeah. That makes sense.
Like I think that it is definitely a better narrative overall. There's more to it definitely than just junk food, but like
right.
Yeah.
And it's also like a relatively short game too, right?
Yeah.
Like in terms of like it's like 30 hours, 40 hours, something like that.
Yeah, I basically cleared out the map. I didn't like platinum it because the achievement list was I played on Xbox and the achievement list was also nuts. But like I did all of the base kind of clearing checkbox stuff that you do. And I think my playtime was like 35 hours or 40 or something tops. If that.
See, that's what could get me into a game like this. Like I remember also playing a little bit of this at the beginning of the year. It didn't stick with me enough to actually put it on my list or anything. But I at least made it like out of the first area, found the first companion, and then that was kind of where I put it down. Because these kinds of games have never really been for me. Mostly because of the combat, but this is the first time that I remember thinking like this combat does not feel terrible. It actually feels pretty decent. Because that's part of the reason, I never got into Skyrim. I never got into whatever kind of games are all like this. But yeah, I could see myself maybe one day coming back to this and giving it a fair shot. Just mainly because of the length.
I recommend it. It's a good one.
Yeah. All right, my number. We're up to 7,
yes,
right?
Number 7.
My number 7. I've only played this game for a couple of hours. Skate Story.
Nice.
I hopped into this game not really knowing what to expect. I remember there was some Devolver Digital like direct that they did where they showed this game off, and the vibe of the game kind of stuck with me to the point to where like I wasn't so much on the lookout for the game whenever it did come out, because I didn't even know that this game was coming out this year until I saw it pop up on PlayStation Plus. But then I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that game. I downloaded it, and man, like the vibe of this game carries so hard.
Yeah.
It like the gameplay and everything like feels really good. Like it feels like a good, skateboarding kind of game. But like I highly recommend putting on like your nicest pair of headphones that can connect to your PlayStation or your PC or whatever, and just vibing out to this soundtrack while you're skating around doing, whatever this game has you doing. The story is the wackiest thing I've ever seen.
Very
it's
weird.
So weird. It's so weird, but it's enough for me to be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, screw it. Let's go eat the moon or whatever.
Yeah. You are eating the moon.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I have this pretty far down on my list, but it's only because I also only played it for like 2 hours. I'd like to get back to it. The vibes are immaculate. I couldn't figure out how I felt about the actual skateboarding. It's like a little wonky at first because you're like generally in more narrowy areas. But I agree that it is like really unique and cool in that way. And I want to give it more of a shot. But
yeah. I really like even in those like narrower areas too, like those are actually the parts of the game that I was kind of liking the most, where it was almost like a runner style game. Mm-hmm. Where you're just like jumping over stuff, dodging stuff. Like that's kind of more the part of this game that I liked. It got to a point where it would give you a more open area that you could kind of skate around, and there would be like little puzzles or kind of stuff like that. But when it's more on I'll call that like the actiony side of it, is just or it's almost more like platforming to an extent in some of those narrower passages. But that's the part of the game that I was really, really vibing with, because that's most of the time that's when the soundtrack really starts to swell and get really big, and yeah, it's just a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe. I really, really think that I will be coming back to this and actually playing it to completion, because I probably put those 2 hours into it like a month or two ago, and it's stuck with me enough to actually like have something to say about it, which doesn't normally happen.
Yeah, we'll both have to give it another go, see what our final thoughts are.
For sure.
All right, so
you're number 8, sir. Or number 7.
My number 7.
Number 7.
We're gonna have an issue here, because I know this game is on your list, but it's gonna be a lot higher.
Oh no.
Number 7 is a Hollow Knight Silk Song for me.
No, Chris. No. Say psych. Please say psych. Please say psych.
It's in the top 10, dude.
What?
It's in the top 10. Yeah, I think we'll
that looks so bad.
We'll adjust the actual tiers here as we go. I'm sure some of these will move around, but I think Silk Song, I can't remember if I just texted this to Michael, our friend, or if I put this in the group chat somewhere or whatever, but I think I said Silk Song was like a 9 out of 10 for me at the end of Act 2. And by the end of Act 3, it had dropped, I think, down to an 8, just because I really, really hate these games making you... Sea of Stars did the same thing, and I didn't go through with it with that game, because I at least liked this game enough that I did want to see it through and was willing to do what it took. But these games that make you do all of this extra stuff to get the true ending, I find to be really unsatisfying a lot of the times. Specifically with Silk Song, you have to do so many side quests that I found really not interesting, and are really, it's a lot of content. Like my clock when I beat this game, Act 2, was like 30 hours. And by the time I beat the full game was like 50 something. It's like only 5 hours of those or so were actually in Act 3. There was like a 15 to 20 hour period in there, I feel like, where I was just clearing the map or doing fetch quest or following guides to try and tell me what I was missing because I thought I had everything and I couldn't find it. And so that unfortunately dragged it down a lot for me, which is unfortunate because otherwise I think this game is fantastic. Got some of the coolest bosses in Metroidvanias, gorgeous art style, really satisfying movement as you go. I wish there was more movement stuff, honestly, in some of it. But the game is great. That just brought down my personal experience enough to where it was number 7 on a list of 30 plus games, I might add. It's still doing real good. I know it's higher for you. I think the pacing really suffered for me personally because of what you have to do to see the true ending, especially in a game like this where like I was interested in the story, but I was more like, I'm doing this because I know there's more content and I want to see it all through. And so the story stuff, especially as someone who hasn't, I know it's heresy, I haven't played all of Hollow Knight, you know, it's like,
how dare you?
And so it's like, from a story standpoint, it was never, I never expected necessarily for it to be like some giant payoff. And I do think the final boss is really cool and really satisfying. And like, I know enough of the story of what's going on to like, I still did want to see it. But yeah, it's a great game. It's great. I just wish it had a more normal narrative structure from like you finish Act 2 to go straight into Act 3. I wish you didn't have to do so much of what feels like filler to me to see the ending. But awesome boss fights. Awesome boss fights.
Yeah, they're very good. They're very good. A lot of things in this game are very good.
Like the clockwork boss. Crazy.
Oh, the clockwork dancers.
Rubio. What a guy. My homie. My little homie. Rubio. So, like awesome soundtracks. Yeah.
The soundtrack's so good. This year was the year of Hollow Knight for me. Thinking back now, hold on. Back to the Droppies for a sec. The best game that I played this year that was not from this year is actually Hollow Knight 1.
There we go.
Somehow forgot that I played it.
I was gonna say I didn't remember in that moment, but I feel like when I was making that category, it's like, I know he said he played Hollow Knight this year. I know he's at least got one thing, but I didn't remember that in the conversation.
Yeah. I 100% at Hollow Knight 1. Almost. So with the DLC and everything, it's 112%, and that's like one of the best times with a game that I've had this year, for sure. I went super hard into that game, and then I went right into this game. And it delivered on everything that I wanted coming out of Hollow Knight 1. I don't think that there was... Okay, there is one moment with this game that I did not like it, and that was basically the entirety of Biowater.
Yep.
But, and that boss.
Yep. I think...
Grohl the Great is a jerk. But
I think there are a couple...
everything else in the game is like just chef's kiss, dude. Like it feels so good to control Hornet and all of the boss fights, the exploration. Some of the stuff is annoying to find. Some of the stuff you would never find on your own unless I went into every room and just started whacking walls. Mm-hmm. For sure. You know, it's just, that's part of Metroidvanias. That in Metroid Zero Mission, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm shooting every wall that I come across. Every single one.
You had me and then you lost me, Andrew. You had me and then you lost me. That's my
There's not many. Most of them are
of the
kind
genre.
Of... Yeah. Most of the... Okay, no. Zero Mission, most of them are actually like marked. You can actually kind of see them a little bit. But back to this. Yeah, this... I'm gonna jump ahead real quick.
I'm gonna guess this is your number 2.
This is my number 2 this year. Yeah. So we are at a place.
At an impasse.
We're at an impasse.
Well, that's not the first time that's gonna happen on this list, so get ready.
Yeah. We'll
you know what else is
we
coming.
can rearrange later. What else is coming? I don't even want to know. All right, that's your number 7. We'll probably talk about Silksong a little bit more here in a little while. Are we on 6?
It'd be your number 6, I think.
Be my number 6. My number 6 is gonna be Metroid Prime 4.
Ooh. Oh, Andrew, no. No,
Yeah, dude.
you were so excited, Andrew.
Man,
No.
I wanted this game to be so much better than it was.
Oh, I'm so sad
And
for
it just-
you.
If it does feel really bad. It does feel really, really bad. I think I kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit by replaying Prime 1 like immediately before playing this, because Prime 1 I genuinely do think is like really close to a perfect game. Like it's really, really close to a perfect game. Whereas this, no, dude, it's for sure like the worst Prime game. Like it's not even close. It doesn't even come close to 1 or 2 or even 3, which I think 3 is the worst of the original trilogy. I would rather play 3 5 times before I play this game again.
Oh man.
No, I need to bring it back because this is our best games of 2025. In the context of Metroid Prime games, it is a bad game. Almost through and through, it is a bad game. Okay, I'm sorry. The hatred is consuming me. It's not that bad.
No, I'm sorry. We are gonna have to reject that. You can't take back the last 2.5 minutes of what was said.
It does a few things right. It does boss fights really well. I think these are some of the best boss fights that Metroid Prime has ever had. I think that they're better than I think every boss fight in this game is better than every boss fight in Metroid Prime 1. I think that's one thing that Prime 1 does not do very well. And that's the one thing that kind of brings it down for me, in terms of Metroid Prime 1 being like a really close to perfect game. I think all of these bosses are a lot more interesting. There's just not many of them, you know. The layout of this game is really like strikingly similar to Ocarina of Time. So we've all seen Samus in the desert on the motorcycle, right?
Yep.
Think of the desert as Hyrule Field. Do we like Hyrule Field?
No, not particularly.
When we're kids, maybe. But right now, no, dude. No, there's nothing. There's nothing there. There's like, I'm not like exaggerating this number. There are like 4 Breath of the Wild shrines in this entire desert. And they're like barely. Sorry, Tears of the Kingdom shrines.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine.
No, I lied. Okay. I think there's actually 8. But still, dude, it's a big area. It's a really, really big area. This game also does a thing in the end game that really just it adds so much bloat to the game for absolutely no reason at all. Have you ever played Wind Waker?
Yes.
Do you know like the Triforce quests that you have to do at the very end of Wind Waker that's just like easily the worst part of the entire game?
Yep.
This game does a very similar thing. It adds maybe 2 hours of runtime onto this game. Like, this is a very short game. I 100% in this game in 15 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really, really small. But yeah, so, and that also leads back into the desert just being a big open space where a lot of the hunting for that kind of stuff takes place in the desert, which is just the least interesting place of the entire game. So you spend the majority of the game in there, which is just not a good time. But in each corner of this desert is essentially like a Zelda-like temple that are not anywhere near as interesting or fun as Zelda temples.
Oh, no.
Like I hate that just compare the Ocarina of Time so much, but like they kind of did it to themselves. So I'm gonna compare it. You got in one corner, you've basically got Death Mountain, and another corner, you basically got, Ice Mountain. I don't know what the say Ice Mountain. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
though. There's mines in one corner. There's literally Goron mines, bro. It's just,
Weird.
yeah, it's a really, really weird.
It must just be because
some
they were two separate I mean, it obviously had such a troubled development. It must have just been they had to work with whatever they had. They didn't want to scrap everything, I guess, whenever the new team took over.
Well, that was the whole thing. So whenever they swapped devs, they said that they're restarting from scratch. But that was 2019. That was like so long ago too. Like, and whenever they were developing it, like I was reading an interview with like the director of Retro or whatever, like, and they were saying that whenever they were developing this game, like the emphasis on open world games being like popular games was such a big deal that they really wanted to make Metroid Prime into like an open world kind of thing. And then over time they were noticing that like, okay, the love for this kind of stuff is dying down a little bit, at least among like the Metroid hardcore Nintendo gamers a little bit. The people that would buy this game, but they were so far along that they just had to stick with it and stick it out. And but I mean, it is what it is. I overall don't think that it's like a terrible game or anything. I think it's like a 7. I give it a 7. I still liked it better than Mario Kart World somehow. Which I know, I'm pretty sure that I said that game was a 7.5. I still think that it is a 7.5. But
you can like a 7 more than a 7.5.
Can I? Okay, good.
I've done that some with my letterbox where I like, I do my list where I rank all the movies I've watched this year, but you also give them stars. And sometimes I'll have movies where I'm like, I think one of them was One Battle After Another, that really popular movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, this is objectively a great movie, like a really well-made movie. Like I think I gave it 4 stars, but I think I have like a 3.5 star movie that, my rankings, I try and give like more objective or whatever, but like I can like something more even if I know it's not as good. Which that's how I like it. I think you're justified.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. Yeah, that makes it just a little bit better. There's just a couple more things that I want to say. I don't think that the companions are as annoying as people were making them out to be. I actually grew to like them quite a bit by the end of the game.
Miles McKinsey defender here.
Miles might be the worst one, but he's not. Only because he is the hand holdiness of this game, which also drives me crazy. So remember how I was saying earlier, like Zero Mission, it's hand holdy, but it's not like intrusive how hand holdy it is. Like this game is egregious. How many times if I am driving around the desert on this motorcycle for any more than 3 or 4 minutes, Miles McKinsey comes on my little earpiece and says, "Hey Samus, maybe we should go back to this area and see if you can unlock anything." Shut up, bro. Let me figure it out. There's no way to turn it off. Like,
oh yeah, well that would require a settings menu in a Nintendo game. So
yeah, exactly. God, I still can't get over the Mario Kart World, the music thing. You can have quiet or loud. Yeah, but yeah, it's just a bunch of weird things with this game. I do think that the combat in this game probably feels better than most other Prime games. I think combat as a whole is this game's strong suit compared to other Prime games, but it lacks the part of Prime games that I really like, which is the exploration, the discovery, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty low compared to where I thought it would be upon originally seeing it. Last thing, sorry, I do think that this is the prettiest game that Nintendo has ever made.
I've heard, yeah,
straight up,
yeah,
it is beautiful.
Did you play it docked or handheld mostly?
I played docked. Whole way I played docked.
Nice. Yeah, well, that's good because normally I feel like that's where those Switch games look the muddiest, is if you try to dock them. So if it still looked good, then that's a pretty good sign.
No, it still looked great. A lot of the cutscenes were really, really, really solid.
That's encouraging.
So, yeah, that's my number 6.
My number 6. It's probably also a game you have higher. It's Hades 2. For audio listeners, he's giving me a look of great disappointment. I assume this is probably your number 3, if I had to guess. Kirby might be your 3, though.
This is my number 3.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. Yeah. Look, again, 6 out of 30 something. All right, like this game is high. This game is doing well for itself. Just to say a couple of the things that I do ding it for a little bit. It's I think that the story could be stronger. I think especially the ending is not super satisfying in my opinion. It would be hard to get into without spoiling, but some of the character motivations I just don't fully understand as far as why certain characters kind of seemingly have certain revelations. But I think that, and I still think the amount of runs you have to do to see the ending of this game is just annoying. It's just like, I felt the same way about Hades 1. Like, what do you have to beat this game like 12 times to see the actual ending. And again, that's just a thing with me and roguelikes. You know, I think this game could have been about 10 hours shorter and it would have been.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you're a roguelike hater.
Would have been
no.
just as good, probably better. But, and I think that the voice acting and the writing are really, 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 really good. But I do think the actual content of what you're getting from a lot of those dialogue interactions starts to feel very filler in later runs, especially like when I was in my last 3 or 4 runs, I wasn't like fully skipping dialogue, certainly not like the dialogues at the ends of runs and like things that were definitely more essential to the plot. But like when you're just picking up boons and stuff as you go, it's like, this isn't annoying me in the sense that like I still think it's well done, but it feels like it is not adding to anything about these characters or to this experience necessarily. And so I kind of felt like it was a little filler in that sense, especially at a point where I was like, I'm trying to see the end of this. Like I don't, I want the bigger stuff at this point, and I don't feel like this is worth the time it's taking to kind of get through some of these things. But all that is to say, it's probably the most addicting roguelike I've played. Like I didn't come close to seeing the true ending of Hades 1, but I saw this one all the way through. You know, I wanted to do more runs. I felt like initially some of the weapons don't feel great, but as you unlock different aspects of them, I did enjoy playing with those as I went. I really like the tarot card system that you have that impacts your different stats or effects or whatever. I felt like I wish I'd been motivated to play with those a little bit more, because I think they're really cool. And I kind of felt like, okay, well, this is kind of, once I had unlocked all of them, I was like, all right, well, this is just the ones I'm going to keep. And I didn't feel like I played with them as much as I was unlocking them. They're still really cool.
There's definitely just like objectively like a best set of them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, and as soon as you figure it out, it's like, why would you ever change them?
Yeah. Yeah. And in general, some of the currency, there's a lot of different currency you're collecting in this game. And it's cool that you feel like you're always making progress and that like you're getting something that will be useful, but it's also like, it can be a little overwhelming to be like, wait, what do I need for this run? Like you don't have that much control over what you can get anyway. So sometimes it doesn't feel, you know, you can't necessarily be working towards what you're getting in a way that is whatever. But overall, the overall experience, I just still think is great. Like it is at its core, super fun to play. Art style is great. Music's really good. I do think that, like I said, the writing and voice acting quality is really good. I just think that as incredible as it is like you don't really get repeat dialogue at all. I think that's really impressive, but it also feels like it's not repeat dialogue, but like it's not additive dialogue necessarily by the end either for some of the stuff. But at the end of the day, this is like a gameplay like king. This game is gameplay is king, and the gameplay is fantastic. And
Yeah.
I really
100% agree.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think about how I'm gonna weasel my way up on this one.
I was like, I feel like I'm not. I wasn't being as succinct because like a lot of the stuff would be narrative stuff that I don't want to spoil necessarily, unless we want to do like a whole separate spoiler section,
Right,
which
yeah,
we can
yeah.
do if you want to do like say this is spoilers for Hades.
No, I don't think we necessarily need to. Like I don't know. It definitely is one of those gameplays. Like you're 100% right. Like that is the main draw of this game for me. I do like the characters. I don't think that I like the characters that are in, you know, just like the hub whenever you get back from every run as much as the characters in Hades 1.
Yeah.
I didn't feel any kind of connection with like Nemesis or who's the dude with the fates? He stands next to the scrolls.
That's
that's gonna drive me crazy.
It's the Kronos, the one. It's not Kronos, but that's the main bad guy. No,
you know who I'm talking about,
yes.
though.
He's like the death guy.
Somebody incarnate. I think he might be Death incarnate or like something like that. Vuros? No, that's definitely the planet on Metroid Prime 4. Sorry.
I'm so bad with names. All the haters are going to be like, you did it, Moros. That's his name.
Moros. Yeah,
like,
okay.
You didn't even play. You don't know their names.
But it was like so many of those characters, like I didn't feel the need to talk with many. I mean, I still talk with them every single time. Anytime that there was new dialogue or anything, I talked to them every single time. I didn't feel the same connection that I did with like Achilles or with who else? There was like Dusa was in Hades 1, or even just talking with Hades like every time. You know, I didn't feel that. By the end of the game, I did feel that with Hecate. I didn't feel that initially in the beginning. She grew on me after a while, but I mean, besides all that, like. I think that the gameplay of this game is so addicting. Like the fact that I can sit here with this game and it was the only thing that I played for, you know, whatever, like 60 hours straight. Like I don't do that a lot, truthfully. Like I did that same thing with Silksong and Hades 2. Like I could not get enough of them. Even by the end where I was like, okay, I'm ready to finish this, like I could still boot up a run immediately after and probably would have had just as much fun. Just because, I mean, there's so much diversity in ways that you can build. Whenever I was playing, I don't know how much has been patched. There was definitely like a definitive build that was the best build. And if you're just trying to get to the true ending very fast, you just pick Zeus and then you just go hard. But besides that, I mean, like, I don't know. It's just such a good time. It's such a, like, zipping around, doing God knows what with those freaking torches. I love them torches, man.
Torches are
They're
OP,
so broken. I hated them whenever I first started using them. Because whenever you first start out the game, and, you know, it starts telling you about all the Omega moves and, like, all the different things that you can do. My cast is no longer a projectile. It's a you know, an AoE kind of grab sort of deal. Like it was a lot to take in all at once right at the beginning, but once you hit a certain point, like I feel like, and I don't know if I can speak for everybody, but speaking for me, like I got to a point where I would know by which boons I was offered, like which route I would want to take the run to just like optimize it the best way that I could. And by the time you would get to the end of the run, like you just feel so godlike, like just completely untouchable. You do so much damage. We're talking about taking down bosses in like 5 seconds, like, and it makes you feel so good knowing that you built this in a way that 20 runs ago you were having trouble with this boss. Now it's gone in less than a minute, less than 30 seconds, you know, you're just absolutely melting health bars. And that kind of stuff is really like the big part of the game to me. I do think that the story is actually very good in this game. I probably do like the story overall better than Hades 1. Just like the narrative in general. But yeah. I had a very, very, very good time with this game. This is very easily my number 3.
Yeah, I think it's great. I just have a couple qualms, and again, it's like it's a genre that I sometimes struggle with, but it's one that I think at this point it is definitely the roguelike I've played the most of. I'm trying to rack my brain.
I can tell you that it's the roguelike that you played the most.
I was gonna say I can't think of what would compare. So I think that's a huge testament in and of itself. Like I said, I liked Hades for what it was, but I didn't see it all the way through. And this one I enjoyed enough that I did. Shout out to the Steam Deck, because that definitely helped this case a lot. It was a really good Steam Deck game. Other than sometimes the screen was a little too small. I think we talked about this before, but that little rat boy, trying to see him on that Steam Deck.
You talking about
dude? Oh my god, my eyes! Like,
I couldn't see him on the TV.
Where is he? I think it was Fahad I was talking to about that. He was like, "Oh, I like one shot him." I was like, "How do you even see him?" I could one shot him if I could see him.
I just started pressing buttons and zipping around, and then he's just dead. And I'm like, okay, cool, next.
Yeah, no, the game is great. It's yeah, it's just the story. Like I said, whatever. We don't need to get into spoilers, but
you're good.
What is your number 5?
Number 5. What is my number 5? Wait, 1, 2, 8, 7, 6. Okay. My number 5 is Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Banana.
I'm gonna
it's my
put it
11.
up here.
It almost made the cut.
Number 11. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up here at the bottom of B tier for now. Because I don't think there's any way this game is better than. To me, it's probably better than Avowed. I'm not gonna fight for. I don't care that much about it.
You got other battles ahead, man.
I got other battles. I'm gonna save all that for when they really need me. Yeah, y'all have also heard my piece on this game on a previous pod. I thought it was fine. It's good. The best way that I feel like the best way to describe it is what you said. It's just kind of junk food. Doesn't feel as good to me as a Mario Odyssey or any like 3D Mario. It feels a lot more actiony, which is not exactly what I'm looking for. And yeah, it didn't leave a lasting impression on me, except for the ending. I feel like the ending is the only thing that I can say really did something for me that made me say, wow, this game might be amazing. And really like the last few levels of the game, where they actually started to switch stuff up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting and add a few more cool elements. But the first like 60, probably the first 60 to 70% of this game, I feel like is just kind of whatever.
That's a lot of percent.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a very decent chunk of the game. But I still give it like an 8. Like I still think that it's very fun. I know I did the same thing whenever we were talking about it before. I sound like I hate this freaking game, dude.
Yeah.
I sound like I hate it.
Yeah.
But I had fun. I played it all the way through, and I didn't feel the need. What tells me that I didn't love this game is that I didn't go back and 100% it. Because I've 100%ed basically every 3D Mario. Except Sunshine. Sorry.
Oh, how dare you?
There's too much in this game, and it's too just balls to the wall, like constantly going somewhere, doing something. I just wish that it would give me some time to just breathe. But that's my piece with this game. That's my number 5.
If we don't
5.
count
Yeah.
DLC, this would be number 10 for me. So I think it's a good game.
Really?
It's just,
yeah, I still think it's good.
It's just, yeah, I'm kind of like you. I didn't even finish, like, I rolled credits, and then there's like one more thing you can do, and I never even went back and did that. So I was like,
Yeah.
nope, I saw credits. Nope, I don't care. So
I really wish that I like this game more than I do. Just because I mean, Nintendo has put out 4 Nintendo Switch 2 games this year, and I really, really like one of them. And
it's not the one you think.
and it's not the one that I thought it would be, which is really crazy to me. Yeah. But here we are. But I still think it's good. I still think it's good. In whatever 5 to 10 years, I will come back and I will play it, and I'll say, "Yep, it's still really good." Like, it's a good, solid time and a good way to pass the time. But it doesn't really do it for me the way that like an Odyssey or something has in the past.
Yeah, it's tough to compete to that level, but I mean, that's kind of what you have to compare it to, because
exactly,
it's the same
like
team. I
feel like with every Mario game ever, we've kind of gone up a level. This is the first time that I know that this isn't a Mario game, but it's what's gonna get compared to. Like, this is the first time that I feel like we've really taken a step back.
Yep.
So still very good though.
That it is. We're at the halfway point.
Halfway point.
My number 5. Are you ready for it?
Let's hear it.
My number 5 is Dispatch.
What?
Yeah, you can slide that into A. Yeah, that's
We're sliding that in A.
I love this game, man. I think this game, only being at number 5, is like, it's tough because, you know, it's a narrative, you know, Telltale-esque game, so there's not a ton of gameplay, and the gameplay that is there, the actual dispatching, is like, it's fine, right? But as far as narrative experiences, it's like it's probably like my number 2 for the year. And, you know, overall art style, I think, is gorgeous. This game is beautiful. Soundtrack is great. It's one that stuck with me a lot this year. I think a lot about the ending still, and the ending of a lot of each episode. They do a really good job of, you know, capping everything off. The performances, dude, like Jeffrey Wright as Chase and Aaron Paul as the protagonist. Laura Bailey as Invisigal. It's like, there's not a bad performance in this game, and there are a lot of performances, including ones that you think could be bad because they're like moist critical or like, you know, other influencers that you don't really think of, I think, when you're thinking of top tier voice talent, but they're all so good. And it's so funny. It's like, I think we really underestimate how hard it is to get humor right in games, because of, I mean, think of how rare it is that you call a game funny. I just don't find myself calling video games funny very often. Because I just don't think it happens. But this game absolutely crushes it. Really well paced. I think the beginning is like, got some of the weaker writing. It didn't personally bother me. I know it has with some other people, but I do think it is at its weakest at its beginning. But even that isn't egregious in my opinion, personally. But once you get into episodes like 3 and 4, especially, it's like it just gets going and it never stops. You really care about the characters, in my opinion. And, you know, I I haven't replayed it myself, but I've listened to a lot of people talk about it. And there is a pretty wide range of ways things can play out, which I think is really satisfying, because sometimes with these games it kind of feels like the illusion of choice. And I think that this one does a really good job of making you make organic choices, and also ones that clearly do have results, because things can play out pretty differently. So
yeah, I've got it up on my list to at some point come back to, because I feel like this would be a good me and Kayla game.
Absolutely,
for sure. I feel like she would really, really enjoy this. Because I mean, I don't think that I've ever completed No, I lied. Okay, the only game similar to this, or like these types of games, like, you know, any Telltale likes that I've ever played. I played Life is Strange 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never actually played any of the Telltale games themselves. So yeah, this is going to be a really good one for me to come back to, and I guess kind of hop on the train for, because I feel like this studio is probably going to push them out a little bit.
Yeah, I think after this
maybe not at like the cadence that they did before, because that could be detrimental.
The old Telltale. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I said this before, but I think that this is the pinnacle of what this style of game has been up to this point. You know, I think you could argue there's certain ones that like maybe people like more, like Walking Dead Season 1, just because it was the first to really break through, or I know a lot of people really love Tales from the Borderlands because it was one of the first ones to really nail humor, I think. But this is undeniably the best one of these games has run and performed. And I think that performance overall, including like visuals and vocal performance and stuff like that, this is definitely the peak of what this genre has been. Part of me feels like it should be a little higher on my list, but I really, really like all my top 5, and it's like I said, the actual dispatching gameplay is whatever, and I did have a couple of bugs that were a little annoying towards the end, so those are the small dings, but still highly, highly recommend.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm pumped to go back to this one. All right, that's number 5.
Top 4
for you. So we're in top 4 territory. All right, my number 4 is gonna be Kirby Air Riders. I'm putting it above Avowed. I'm gonna make a very stern call on that one.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't think you understand, Chris. Kirby Air Riders saved my life. Okay. Just when I thought that I had wasted $500 on my Switch 2, Kirby Air Riders swoops in.
I like Avowed a lot, but I think you're more passionate about Air Riders than I
am.
I'm
extremely passionate about this game.
Yeah, I think that's
fair. This is my big game right now. It's stuck with me. I mean, it only came out almost 2 months ago, but I think I've already played it more than any other Nintendo exclusive that's come out this year. I think I'm pushing 50 on it, like 50 hours. Wow. And I've still got a lot of stuff to do. There's so many things on that checklist, you know, the achievements or whatever to get, and so many different rewards, and I still haven't fully completed like the story mode, which the story mode is really, really fun. It's really more interesting than I thought it would be. In smaller doses. It's not so good like stretched out over like a long period. It only takes about 2 hours to beat it, but you have to beat it twice to get the true ending. But yeah, this game just this game, I mean, it's wowed me in so many ways. From it being a racing game to a vehicular combat game to, I mean, really, you name it. If it's something that you can do on a cart, you could probably do it in this game. It's so cool how many different kind of builds you can have for your cart or for your machine, your star, whatever people want to call them. You can go for a damage build. You know, you're a little bit slower, you don't turn quite as well, but whenever you hit somebody, you hit them like a truck, they just die, and then, you know, you start sucking up all of their stat boosts and all that kind of stuff. Or you can just go for a flight build if you want to. You can just fly around the map the entire time and nobody will ever touch you, and then you can, you know, just collect a bunch of power-ups in the sky. Like there's so many different ways that you can play the game, especially with there being so many different characters, so many different carts, and every single one of them feeling so different. And it just blows Mario Kart completely out of the water, dude. I don't understand how more people are not playing this game. I really don't understand it. There's so much diversity in this game. I do wish that they would fix some of the online stuff. There's way too many queues for online play. There is ranked and unranked for 3 different modes. So there's 6 different online queues that you can go into for a game that is probably barely breaking 1 million units sold. We gotta cut that back, Sakurai, just a little bit. I think you're a little too optimistic that too many people are gonna buy your very, very niche game. But yeah, that's, I mean, it's easily my favorite Switch game this year. Very, very easily. And it's one that I see myself coming back to for the foreseeable future very often. At least weekly, or, you know, I mean, a few times a week. Like, this is very much my go-to game at the moment.
Yeah. No, I mean, I obviously only played it for very little whenever you brought it over, and that's not enough time to see everything that it has to offer, but excuse me. But I respect it for how different it is and for how unique it is, and I'm glad you like it.
Thanks, man.
I'm glad
Sakurai, you liked it.
And I'm glad Sakurai likes it. That's really all that really matters.
Honestly, yeah, I just want that man to be happy. He's like, I don't think people understand how much that man has given me without even knowing it.
Yeah,
like,
you don't know
basically
who you
my
are.
entire basically my entire friend group that I currently have is because he made a video game. Like, I wouldn't know any of these people. I wouldn't be so close with any of these people if he had not done that. And I can see myself and many of those other friends also connecting over this game in a really similar way. So hats off to my main man, Sakurai.
That's more beautiful than any video game. So really, that's game of the year. Actually, I think we should bump it up.
I think you're right, Chris. I think you're right. I think it belongs right there.
My number 4 is a little game called Ghost of Yote.
Wow.
Yeah. That game is special. This is a game that I kind of had a rocky road with at first. It came out literally like a day or two before I left for my trip to Japan. And so I really wasn't sure if I was, when I was going to be able to get to it. I had to wait until I got back. And at that point, I was like, well, I'd already been playing a couple of other games beforehand, so I didn't want to, start it until I finished those. So I came to it much later than I normally would. I'm normally, day one for a lot of PlayStation exclusive stuff. And I really love Tsushima. I even did the raid from the multiplayer mode this year to get ready for this. And when I finally jumped in, I was like really digging in the beginning. And I kind of got to a hump like around the 5-10 hour mark where I was like, this isn't really hitting in the same way that I thought it would. And I don't love all of the writing and dialogue and everything here. And then it opens up a little bit more and gives you a bigger arsenal to work with, and you meet more characters, and that's when it clicked. And I was like, oh, this is the full kind of experience here. And once I did get into that Zen mode, I was like, I want to play this every day. I want to make sure that I'm finding all of the weapons that I can so that I can get as my full arsenal, which the game has a really open-ended way of letting you find all of those. You can kind of prioritize what order you want to do things for the first, 2/3 of the game, really, which I think is really interesting. What really takes it for me, I think, is the art direction for this game. And I talked about it a little bit during our Game of the Year episode where we were like voting and stuff, and I hadn't played as much of it then. But dude, this game, I'm actually really glad I ended up waiting to play this game, because right before I started, they patched it to add, normally there's performance mode at 60 frames, but looks a little bit worse, or quality mode at 30 frames, but obviously runs worse. And they added a couple days before I started playing this mode. It's like this mixed mode. I don't remember what it's called, but essentially aims for 45 frames a second, but has ray tracing. And my TV has a variable refresh rate. And so it wasn't running at like 120 or anything like that, but it was a high enough frame rate. It was definitely higher than 30 and smooth enough that it was a really good experience, but it added so much visual fidelity that was really, really gorgeous. But even outside of the technical visual fidelity, the game has such a distinct art style with the color palettes it chooses to go with. Like I said before, where you'll have different changing aspect ratios when you're running through a field on your horse, and then you have a whole different mode you can do in black and white with like a grainy film filter over it if you want to do that. And they have this lo-fi mode where if you want to just like be listening to these chill vibes while you're exploring, you can do that, on top of just general very intentional sweeping color palettes of like, okay, this whole forest is just going to be yellow petals everywhere, and this whole forest is going to be a certain different thing. And it's just so beautiful, man. And I spent so long in the photo mode of this game. There was one other category in the Droppies that we took out because it was very narcissistic of me to put it in, which is, hey, I'm going to send you a bunch of my pictures for photo mode I took this year, which, spoilers, it was all going to be Ghost of Day pictures. And I was like, all right, you tell me which one you think is the best, and it gets an award. But dude, this game is so pretty that there was so much you could do with that. And some of them I felt really proud of because you can even manipulate that photo mode more to make it like, I don't know, like feel like you were creating art within art in a way that's really cool. And I don't think you get to do in a lot of other games. And that's obviously something very specific to me. I don't think many other people really dive into those modes like that. But I think it only works as well as it does because you're starting with such a strong platform, you know, of a game that already is so beautiful. And the combat, once you do get everything, it's like assassinations and the stealth stuff feel really satisfying. It's not revolutionary by any means, but the counter system feels really great. You know, again, it's really slow giving you armor, which impacts certain perks and stuff you get, but ultimately I got one that makes it where you can only perfect parry. You can't just do like a regular parry. You have to time it right. But it'll widen your window so it's a little bit easier to do, and then you get a stronger counter attack. And like doing that in duels with certain characters, it's like it just feels so satisfying when you get that right. This is one of the few platinums I actually got this year, and to do it you have to do this like final secret boss who's like supposed to be super hard, and I was able to beat him in like 12 minutes, and I just felt so proud of myself for that because I just felt like I had mastered the combat at that point to a degree. So it does feel really satisfying when you do that, and the amount of variety in combat where you can change your stances is really cool. I don't think it's doing anything revolutionary, but I think that what it does exceptionally well, and is one that once it gets going is some of the best at what it does. So
yeah, I mean it's a beautiful looking game. I mean, just sorry, I thought I heard somebody screaming outside. It was definitely just a siren. It sounded very
Kyrie, stop
very
screaming.
much like I needed. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, just from what I've seen of the game, it looks beautiful. I really need to play oh my god, Tsushima. I know I do. People tell me all the time. One of Kayla's best friends, she tells me all the time that is like her favorite game, and she's like begs me to play it. And I've tried it a couple times. I don't know what it is. I can't get myself in the mindset of like playing a big open world game like that right now. Or I mean, I haven't been able to for a while. I can't tell you the last time that I played like a truly like open world game. But one of these days I will come back to it, almost certainly. Whenever I have that itch,
yeah,
again.
No, I think that you do have to be, like I said, I almost bounced off a little bit, but you do have to be in the right mindset, and once you do get in that, I think it can become a very zen-like experience. You know, I love that this was a carryover from Tsushima, but you know, the way that you can navigate to different areas is you set a waypoint on your map, but then instead of having to pull up your map, you can just swipe up on the touchpad, and the wind will tell you what direction you need to move in. You know, so it just becomes so unintrusive. You know, so many people I feel like say so many PlayStation games feel very similar. It's like these third-person action games, and like, you know, this one has a lot to do with revenge, which so did Last of Us 2, and so did some of their other games and stuff like that. And I think there's some merit to that, but like this game just has such a distinct visual identity, in my opinion. That's what really makes it stand out, and I think it's a disservice to try and compare it to other things other than, I guess, Tsushima, because it is definitely building on that. But loved it. Loved that game.
Yeah. Okay, so we're up into our top threes now, right?
Yep. So we know what your 3 and 2 are based off what we said.
We know. Oh my god. Yeah, we know what my 3 and my 2 are. Do we want to, now that we are in the top 3, rearrange anything? And we haven't said where we put any of these things, by the way, for audio listeners. Just for a quick recap. In the C tier, currently at the bottom, we have Mario Kart World, Goodnight Universe, Blueprints, Skate Story, and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond at the top. In the B tier, we have Donkey Kong Bonanza at the bottom, followed by Avowed, Kirby Air Riders, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Hades 2 at the top. And then in the A tier, we have Dispatch at the bottom and Ghost of Yotei at the top. I feel like we might need to do some rearranging on this real fast.
Yeah.
Before we get too ahead.
I think my personal opinion is we go ahead and move up Hades 2 and Silk Song to A tier at least. And that
makes me feel so much better.
I would move up Blueprints and Goodnight Universe to B tier, personally.
I was gonna say I could see Blueprints moving up for sure.
Based off of what your reactions were to Metroid, it's at least the very top of C tier.
Yeah,
because I feel like you were largely
sure.
negative. I'm not really negative on Goodnight Universe. I just don't think it's as good as, like, I guess the negative thing I would say about it is it didn't impact me as much as I wanted it to. But like for what it is, I still liked it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, do I actually like Mario Kart World more than I like Metroid Prime 4?
I mean, based off what you said, I would say so.
I feel like I do. I actually feel like I do. I'm gonna make an on the fly decision right there to put Metroid Prime 4 at the very bottom of the list.
Change of heart.
Oh, it feels so bad. Oh, why retro? Please, guys. Fuck's sake. Yeah, I think that has to happen. Mario Kart just got bumped up 2 whole spots. No, they just got bumped up 1 whole spot. Skate Story is 2
hours. Okay. It's still the 2 hour versus 50 hour. It's not beating those allegations.
Okay, that feels slightly better to me. I don't know about this top row yet.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough because there is a pretty wide gap between our. Like, I still think they're great games. I just think they, I have kind of.
Because brother, I think they go here.
I know that's where. Yeah.
I think both of those are some S tier game. I at least think that Silk Song is an S tier game. Like, for sure. I know it's a little lower on yours, so I can split the difference here a little bit. But
I mean, this isn't final either.
I think this,
just...
yeah. I think I might have to move it up a little more towards the top of the A tier. But with the way that we've just rearranged it a little bit, that feels slightly better to me.
Yeah, so that's a start. Well, I'll go ahead and do my.
So yeah, we already know my 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is you.
So my number 3, Liza P Overture, baby.
Where would we? Is this an S tier?
That's definitely S tier for me. I think it's the peak of Souls-like combat, in my opinion. I've talked about it on earlier episodes. The P
period.
I put it in the same the top echelon. I won't say it's like better than the best of Sekiro or Bloodborne or whatever, but I would put it on that same level for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, see, now I had that hypothetical in my head. It's like, where would I put it? It's like, I would put this on par with Bloodborne for me personally. Like,
Wow.
I think that from a combat standpoint, it is insanely satisfying. It's got such cool designs. The level designs are so unique. This like twisted circus, this like North Pole kind of ice cap area, this like boss design that is the final boss just looks disgusting and is a freak, but it's like it was so hard but so satisfying when I beat it. Like, I desperately wish I had bought this on PlayStation, because I would genuinely start another playthrough right now to get a platinum on New Game Plus, so I could use all the weapons that you get in this DLC on a regular run too, because I just think they're so fun. I wanted to use them even more. I think it's got a lot of depth to the combat in the amount of tools that you can use. It's got a good soundtrack. Story is still not something I'm super invested in, but like was interesting with what it did do with it. Had Asterian's voice actor as one of the characters in it. You know, it's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, Neil Newman was in it. It's DLC that I was really looking forward to, and they took so long to put it out, which I feel like is not usually a good sign. And I was a little worried, and it not only met but exceeded my expectations, I think, for what this was. And in true Souls fashion, I feel like, you know, I haven't played all the Souls DLC. The only ones I've really played is Elden Ring and Bloodborne. You know, and a lot of the best content people say in Souls games is usually in the DLC, and that's, I think, the case for both of those. And it's the same with this. I think this is taking a game that I already put. Where did I put Lies of P in the year it came out? It was really high. It was my number 4 the year it came out, 2023. And I would put this above the base game. So I mean, it's fantastic. And like I said, normally I wouldn't put DLC, but like, you know, we're talking best gaming experiences.
It feels lengthy enough.
Yeah, and it's like the way that we're doing it. Like when I think of the Game Awards, I don't like DLC being included because they could just have a separate category for DLC, right? But if like I feel like we're more ranking our best gaming experiences in general, you know, for the year. We're not an official outlet or anything. So I just think it is good enough that it deserves that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and my number two, Split Fiction, baby. Everyone seemed to forget about this game, but not me. I got you. When no one else got you, Joseph Ferris, I got you. All right. Okay. Again, this is one I talked about at the beginning of the year. People did kind of like, I think, forget about this game as the year went on, or had some sort of weird turn on it. But, you know, when I look at the other games that came out this year, I feel like it is one of the safer options. You know, it's not. It is definitely an iteration on It Takes Two, but man, it is just, there aren't hardly any other games out there that can compete with the amount of fun that I had playing this with Mare as a co-op experience. You know, it is just so creative, so vibrant in its worlds, and it is just so fun. It is, you know, another gameplay is king kind of game. But with a level of presentation too, when I think about some of the set pieces and some of the ending especially, man, is just technically insane. I don't know how they did it. And it has moments that I think about still, as far as like really funny and crazy side quests, and really, really, really impressive set pieces that would be impressive in a single player game, except you're doing it with someone else seamlessly. And it's built around that. You know, the story is whatever, but like, I really, really, really value these experiences that I feel like only Hazelight is making, and I still think this is one of the best of those types.
Yeah. Did you like this one more than It Takes Two? I don't remember.
when we were first talking about it, I think I put It Takes Two above because it felt more novel. But I think I ultimately kind of shifted them because I said, even though I think It Takes Two was more fresh, I think this had more depth to it. Like, if I was trying to be objective, I would say this is probably a better game. It's certainly more impressive and has more to it. But I think they're really close as far as like charm and like what I'm in the mood for would kind of determine, honestly, at any given day, which one I liked more. Like, the side quests in this game are kind of the extra bonus thing that you can get as you play through it. And I think those are really, really cool and wild, the variety that you can experience in them. And they're undeniably better and more impressive. But the bonus thing you can get in It Takes Two are these little mini games that you do competitively, typically against your partner. And that was such a nice change of pace when you're like playing everything else cooperatively, and you kind of get to do these little wacky mini games that are like not as evolved or whatever. And I think for my experience with Mayor, it's like I play games more, so I would typically win them more. So it's like I think it's more fun if you keep, depending on who you're playing with, in the spirit of that cooperative experience, like it is in Split Fiction versus It Takes Two. But there were times I definitely was like, man, I do wish that I still had some of those kind of smaller paced, competitive modes too. But I think they're really, really close. But I would say, if nothing else, just because of the level of spectacle this one ends on, I think that It Takes Two kind of just ends. I was a little underwhelmed by its ending, not even just from a narrative standpoint, but from a pace and gameplay standpoint. And I think Split Fiction's ending is one of the best parts of the whole game, in a game that is already incredible. So
nice. Yeah, I purchased this. Oh God, well over 6 months ago.
You and Kayla got a lot to do. You gotta watch
it.
Andor. You gotta have her watch you play Dispatch. You gotta play Split Fiction.
Yep. We still gotta beat It Takes Two. That's been the running joke for the entire year, is that me and Kayla have not beaten It Takes Two yet.
Mary will never forget.
She's been playing through Hogwarts Legacy for like 2 years now. She still hasn't beat that freaking game.
Any day now. Any day.
Any day it'll happen. Any day. All right. Number 1.
What could it be?
The Teardrop Pods Game of the Year.
Undisputed.
The King. Surprise, surprise. Claire Obscura Expedition 33.
Bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Yeah, no, what a game, man.
Who could have seen it coming?
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it really at all. It was kind of a sneak attack.
Yeah, I mean, this is just easily one of my favorite games that I have just ever played in my entire life. And I don't know if I can say that about any other game that's currently on this list that I have played. I mean, at least like hold it to that level.
Yeah.
Hades 2 and Silk Song, like I definitely put them as, some of the best gaming experiences that I've maybe had in the past like 5 to 10 years, but this is a lifetime like game for me. Like I can't believe that we are alive to experience how wonderful and beautiful this game is. From a narrative standpoint to a gameplay standpoint, like I feel like it just crushes in every single aspect of gaming. Like I don't think that it has a weakness in almost any category except for general world navigation. But that kind of stuff can be overlooked just because of how insanely well it does everything else. And yeah, there's not much like it on the market, at least releasing nowadays. Yep. So it's nice for a game like this to kind of have such a resurgence and get so much recognition and so much, just so much playthrough. Like people are going to be talking about this game forever.
It's crazy how much people have already talked about it. It's like so often these games are a flash in the pan, it feels like, and then people kind of move on. But this one has somehow been in the conversation for like almost a year at this point, like 8 months.
Yeah. Like still people are going off about it, and like you said, that thing just doesn't happen. Like Split Fiction, that was a blip this year. I didn't even know that the Lies of P DLC came out this year, dude. Straight up, until you talked about it, I did not even know that it came out this year.
Breaks my heart.
Gozu Yote, I didn't see anybody talk about that. I saw more people talk about Dispatch than a lot of other things. Like Dispatch, Silk Song.
Even Hades 2 didn't get
And Mario
as much
Kart,
talk as
like-
I expected. I think the early access was maybe.
I think it's just because it was an early access forever. Yeah, because I mean, for the people that played early access, like pretty much the only thing that was added was, I think, just like True Ending, or maybe no, the Overworld was already like a part of it. So yeah, I think they had already played the majority of the game, and that's probably most people, at least PC players for sure.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, it's just one of the most incredible gaming experiences I've ever had, and I will never ever forget it.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. I did start playing the DLC, and I was like, I don't feel like this is its best showing here. Not that I didn't like the DLC, but I thought that was unfortunate that was like kind of the freshest thing in my mind. And then I thought back to how much I love the whole rest of the experience, and how much I still listen to the soundtrack, and how much I still hear people debating and enjoy talking to and thinking about the different endings and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, chill out. All right, don't get crazy here. Yeah. No, it is very special. It's still wholly unique in its gameplay, in my opinion. I know there certainly has its inspirations, but certainly in modern times, there's not really anything else like it. And just beautiful. It's a beautiful game.
And the other thing too, you're talking about Dispatch with games being funny. Oh my god, this game is hilarious, dude. I can think of like so many specific lines and moments in this game that have genuinely made me laugh out loud. Yeah. Which it just doesn't happen, man. Like
it has such
I love these characters, this world, the tone, like so many, like, oh god, it's just so good.
It's so dark and messed up, and like, but then it can have those lighter moments that really humanize the characters. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like Eskia as like an entire character is like one of my favorite parts of the game. Anytime that I get to interact with Eskia, like it brings so much light to, like you said, like that dark world. Like it's such a depressing, tragic game that the fact that like these characters can even joke and laugh about anything at all is surprising. But it happens, and it really does make you feel a little bit better about, you know, just everything. But
the gestural being so ridiculous, having some of the weirdest dialogue, and having Minoko do his "ow wow wow" anytime I would pick up an item or whatever. Yeah, it's just little touches like that. It feels personal.
Yeah, all of the like callbacks to like old, you know, PS1 JRPGs. Like, I freaked out so hard when I think you get to the Jestrel village, and two of the Jestrels are playing a game called Double Dyad. And in Final Fantasy VIII, the card game is called Triple Triad. It's just like, I get that. I know what that means. Yeah. It's so sick, man. Like, so much just love and care put into this, and it shows so much appreciation from those devs for like some of my favorite games of all time to be brought back to life, essentially. Because now, I mean, I feel like we're gonna get games similar to this out the wazoo in a couple years, man. Like, I really feel like this is going to be one of those, we talk about like mega influential games. Like, I feel like this in a couple years will prove to be one of those.
Yeah, definitely.
So there it is.
Now, here's my.
We gotta move some stuff, brother.
Yeah. All right, hold on. All right, I was gonna say, I don't want just my games to be. Well, first of all, do we think Expedition 33 should just be in its own S+ tier? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want just my 2 games to be in S tier. What I propose would be you pick either Hades 2 or Silk Song to put an S, and the other one goes at the top of A. That would be my proposition.
That's what I was thinking as well. How's that look to you?
Silk Song listeners, he put Silk Song
bottom of S,
and Hades at the top of A, bumping down Ghost and Dispatch. Yeah,
I can live with that. I think I can live with that.
Yeah.
Because as much as passionate as I am about like Kirby Air Riders, I know that it's not a Dispatch. I know it's not a Ghost of Yotei. I know it's not a Hades 2. Like, I can recognize that. That's fine. I'm fine with how the entire bottom of this list has shaken out.
Split Fiction too high.
Is Liza P. Overture really that much better than Silk Song?
For me, yes, absolutely.
Is it?
A part of me is kind of like, is Split Fiction too high? I haven't I listed them in the list in the order that they are on my list.
It looks wrong there, right? Like I'm not trying to just like bump your games down, but like it feels like it doesn't look right there.
I really enjoyed it at the time. Maybe that is right.
Well, a little bottom of S action. That looks right to me. That looks super mega right to me. No issues on my end. Liza P at the top of S, Silk Song in the middle, Split Fiction at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's right.
I feel like that's solid.
I really loved that Liza P DLC. I really liked it a lot.
Dude, I understand. You're good. I'm totally cool with this. Because this kind of like,
it's so weird because like I try to keep up with this list throughout the year, and the way I do it is I'm like, okay, well, was it better than this? If it was, go up. If it's not, stay there. Was it better than that? And in my mind, as I was doing that, nothing necessarily surpassed Split Fiction. But as I think about it now, which that game was early last year, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not like doing it a disservice by like, oh, it's just further away in my memory. But it's like, I do feel more passionate about the Liza P DLC than I do about Split Fiction, even though in my ranking, in my head, it's higher. But maybe I just didn't update it appropriately.
I mean, visually, and maybe it's another one of those things where like Metroid Prime 4 is a 7, Mario Kart World is a 7.5. Maybe I would like Metroid Prime 4 on a good day more than Mario Kart World. You know, It could just be another one of those things too.
Yeah.
Where there might be one that you like better, or maybe one that you think is better, but you don't like it as much. You know, it's the what's the best versus what do you like the most kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think this is right. Do you feel good about this?
I would like to make one more proposal.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm a DK shit talker. Let me just bump it up one.
Let
me bump it up one.
Crazy. This man said all the time saying it's okay.
Let me bump it up one.
That's crazy.
It was a Game of the Year nominee, dude. Where was about at, bro?
I don't care what Jeff said. Hey, it was nominated for Best RPG. Okay, it was nominated for Best RPG. All right.
It was nominated for Best Family Game, and it won. What?
Lego Party.
What?
Lego Party should be.
Split Fiction was literally in the category, bro.
Yeah, well, they can't all be right, but yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine because I did still like Donkey Kong. I think they're like only 3 apart in my list, Avowed and Donkey Kong. So since you also have taken that one, that makes sense. I like Donkey. It's so weird. It's one that like I think about the color palette. It's such like a base animal instinct. I'm like, oh, that game had some nice flashy colors. It's like there's some primal part of me that's like, no, you like that game more than you thought, and then I just never want to play. I enjoy it while it's in front of my. It's like Coco Melon or something, you know? It's like
is it Coco Melon?
Yeah, it's literally just there to entice a child's attention. But I'm like, no, stop, think critically. Was that really so different from the fun little spells I get to do in Avowed? I don't know. At the end of the day, they're all just pretty colors on a screen.
So true.
Yeah, no, I like this. If you took out Silk Song's stupid filler stuff for Act 3, I think I would have probably put it there anyway on my own accord. So if we just put like a little minus.
Well, then let's pretend that you didn't know that Act 3 even existed, and you just beat Act 2, and then you just, you know.
I forgot to tell you.
Thought that was the game.
I one-shot the final boss for Act 2.
Nice. I think I two-shot. It didn't challenge me as much as I thought it would.
Yeah.
It was not as hard as the true final boss in Hollow Knight 1 for sure.
Yeah, no.
The Act 3 final boss though definitely.
Oh, so that took me forever.
Definitely kind of.
That took me quite a while.
Yeah, that one took me maybe an hour or two on that one. But there weren't many bosses in that game that like I really feel like I beat my head against the wall for. Like
there's one you mentioned.
Carmelita.
Yes,
was probably the hardest one in the entire game for me.
Yeah.
And then the final boss. Yeah, I think those are like my two.
I think those 3. The one that you mentioned in Biowater too, like the 3. And it's not even that boss.
See, I didn't even think that boss was hard.
It was just everything else around it.
The run back.
Yeah.
And the very annoying environment. It's my one big L for that game.
Yeah. These devs, they just can't help themselves with these little slimy areas. I don't know why they like them so much.
You gotta have them. little poison swamp or whatever.
So this is the final tier list here. Should I read through it?
Yeah, go for it.
So our 2025 Game of the Year tier list. At the bottom, we have at the bottom of C tier, we have Metroid Prime 4, then Mario Kart World, then Skate Story, then Goodnight Universe. And then at the bottom of B tier, we have Blueprints, Avowed, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Kirby Air Riders. And at the bottom of A tier, we have Dispatch, Ghost of Yote, and Hades 2. The bottom of S tier, we have Split Fiction, Silksong, and Liza P. Overture. And at the very tippy top, S+ tier, all by its lonesome, the king, Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
What a year, man.
What a year. Games are cool. Games are good.
Games are cool. I'm glad to be a Nintendo gamer again. Even if the games are middling.
Experience that was even B tier. The best Nintendo experience was B tier, brother.
In my heart is S+ tier. Okay. In my heart.
Okay.
No, it's just, I'm so glad that I feel like we're kind of back in like the GameCube era in a way. I feel, that's the era that I like really grew up on. I mean, we're getting Metroid Prime games and Kirby Air Ride, bro. Like, those are literally 2 GameCube games.
It is pretty GameCube. So for better or for worse.
Yeah. So I kind of hope that. I hope that the games get a little bit better, but I hope that we kind of stay on the GameCube train just a tad, because I'm really vibing with it.
Keep the kookiness, but just like make them a little better. I don't know.
Yeah. Just polish up a little bit and lock in, devs. Lock in.
We have one more thing.
And then I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
Year for indies.
Yeah.
Like Dude,
I feel like we say that more and more every year. Indies are really, I mean, look at this list. How many of these games are indie? We have Skate Story, Goodnight Universe, Blueprints, Dispatch, Hades 2, Silk Song, and Liza P and Clair Obscur. More than half of these games are indie. Kind of insane.
Yep. It's nuts.
Now, some of these are
it's
like
nuts.
obviously really big budget, like Liza P. I'm pretty sure you would still call indie, but it is like obviously, you know, a big Korean studio. Obviously, a lot of these are. I mean, Silk Song, they made bukus of money off of. Hollow Knight, you know, they're not like they're kickstarting these games necessarily. They're
right,
but they are still outside of the typical, you know, publisher production format, and
yeah,
couldn't get made otherwise. So it's cool.
Yep, for sure.
It's very cool. Honorable mentions on my personal game of the year list. I just want to shout out what were my other high ones. I had Donkey Kong, I think 11, like I said. Underneath that, I had Ninja Gaiden 4, even though I haven't beat it. I had that at 12. We'll see if that moves a little bit. Doom the Dark Ages. Feel like it didn't really get talked about enough this year. You know, not incredibly new as far as what the Doom games have been doing, but still really solid. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Very simple game, but I really, really enjoyed it. One of my platinums this year. Just a couple other shout outs there. But we do have one other thing we got to do. Let's go back to our droppies and name the best media of the year. Now I'm gonna assume
the best media of the year,
based off.
I mean, for me, it's just Expedition 33.
Yeah,
that's easily the best thing that I've consumed this year, media wise.
Yeah,
for sure. No surprise there.
It's really close for me, but I think I'm gonna have to give it to Andor season 2.
Dang, really? That much? You liked it that much?
I really, 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 really love that show, and it impacted me. Like, I love it, and again, this is not the end all be all. Games don't have to make me. Media doesn't have to make me cry to make it incredible. Obviously, right? As much as I loved Expedition 33, it never had. And I still felt things. It didn't have that emotional gut punch necessarily. But Andor had multiple very impactful emotional gut punches.
Man,
that just really got me. On top of I just think it's some of the best writing in a show that I've seen. And for that to be in a Star Wars show on Disney Plus is just kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah,
but it's very cool. I mean, it in Expedition 33, very cool. I love Sinners, but I would say it's not on the same level as those two in my mind. But it's not often I
can't wait to get there, dude. I cannot wait.
Dude, please keep me posted.
You got me so all in on this right now.
It's
that, and then it's Pluribus.
I could rewatch it right now.
That's the next two.
Pluribus is also great.
Right now,
I do it right now. Turn the stream on. This turned into an Andor watch party. Dude, I'll watch it with you. You tell me when you and Kayla are gonna pop it in, and I'll just put it up on Discord, dude. I'll sit there and join it. No, you should watch that on the, in the sanctity of your home where you can feel what you want to feel. But please do keep me posted. But
yeah, no, for sure, we'll do.
Thank you, man, for a really fun year of podcasts. I really there's something wrong with me with how much I enjoy these sort of things, making lists and ranking things in general. I really, really enjoy. It's why the podcast is kind of built around that premise. But the end of the year is like, I love stories. I love experiencing these different things and having a chance to talk about them. And it's silly to like, oh, this one's better than this one, and by this number amount and stuff like that. But like, gives us an excuse to talk about things and reflect on things that we enjoyed and had an impact on us. And that's really what it's about. So thank you for helping with that and making this conversation what it was because of your input, man. So thank you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, thanks for doing this with me too, man. I mean, I always have a good time doing this. Like, this is This has been a really great year of stuff, and to be able to go back and every now and then listen back on some of the conversations that we've had, and really kind of, it helps jog my memory on opinions of things that I maybe don't remember. I don't have a very good memory, so it's actually this is a really good kind of like almost diary for me to just go back and say, did I like this game that much? Oh yeah, no, it's pretty good.
20 years from now, when we're building on our list for the 20th time, we'll be like, well, I don't remember. Let's just go see what we said 20 years ago, and it'll be there.
Yeah, 20 years from now, when Metroid Prime 4 is a cult classic, yeah. You'll be like, what was I smoking back then, dude?
Didn't give it its due. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, for real. Well, yeah, really, really good year of stuff. Thank you.
Of course,
thank you, man. It's been really cool.
Absolutely. Well, not sure what the plan is going forward as far as episodes and stuff like that, but like we both just said, we both really enjoy this, so hopefully we can keep them coming. Obviously, these end of the year ones with the Game Awards and our personal awards were the big ones, so things will maybe quiet down a little bit, but we'd like to keep a semi-regular cadence, but everyone's lives busy. We'll figure something out, but as always, the best way to make sure you don't miss any content from us is to like and subscribe to our YouTube page, to our Spotify page, Apple Podcasts. Those are the 3 main places we upload. Follow us on socials. You know where to find us. We're look up Risky Crispy and Slurp or Andrew. There's only one Andrew, right?
One of those names.
I think it's probably in the description. But thank you guys for all your support this year. Like I said, this last episode that we did was our second highest rated episode, second highest viewed episode we've ever done. So for not having a weekly schedule or anything like that, and kind of being away for a while, that means a lot that you guys are still ready to consume that content and hear what we have to say. So thank you for that support. Thank you to Fahad and Kush for being guest co-hosts this year. And
yes, thank y'all.
Really just looking forward to dropping some more pods. Any last words, Andrew?
No, we're all good. Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everyone. And I just said it, but keep dropping those
Say it again. Keep dropping those pods. Oh my God.